Yay! So hello everyone. We're here to cast on Sea Scraper. This is the final Sea Scraper, the most exciting one of all. There have never been more teams in
Which is good stuff.
any. Yeah, it's very good stuff. So I'm very excited to see. With me, I have DRAGONUTO,
What's
or
up?
Toby.
Yeah, just call me Toby. And I'm with Emil as well.
I might forget to call you DRAGONUTO or Toby, but that will be
It
fine.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And yeah, I'm with Emil. And
Yeah.
he's the guy that was talking to you at the start. So,
So this is not actually a looty stream. This is a Sea Scraper stream.
yeah.
Casting us is Lean. He won't be talking today, or at least not yet. Maybe he will in the future if one of us dies. But so far he's just casting. And I think we're pretty much starting very soon with Suspense versus Inklings team. What do you know about these teams, Toby?
Well, I went into a little bit of really quick background checking. Suspense have got quite a decent record of not bad results, like top 16s, top 8s. Really quite able to show up on occasions, if you know what I mean. And I was looking at the
team, like you're saying.
Yeah, quite consistent. And I was looking at their looty results as well, and obviously, we all know all about that. And they managed to get to 4th place in playoffs in Division 1. So
That's pretty nice.
that says good stuff to me, to be honest. Do you know much about Inklings team?
Yeah, that's right. Well, Inklings team is a very old team, I think. Not in the sense that they've existed for a long time, but they've been playing in a lot of Sea Scrapers. I think in Sea Scraper 1 or Sea Scraper 2.
And what they've just been playing since then.
Yeah,
Mad.
they're a very a Sea Scraper-ish team. And I never know where to place them because they can play very well, or they can place kind of dropping out-ish. But I'm very excited to see what they'll bring today because honestly, it's been a team that has been playing for a long time in a lot of these tournaments, and every time they show something good. So I'm excited to see what they'll bring today.
Well, hopefully we'll have a good match to watch and cast. We are going to be going into our first match just about now, I believe, which will be, I think it was Starfish TC? No, Splat Zones, in fact. Starfish Splat Zones. Let's see what the teams come out with. Pretty standard comp. Well, that's not a standard comp. Bringing out the pro. So I don't know about you, Emil, but I've been seeing more pros recently.
Yeah, very much. Both teams are bringing in ANZAP, which is very interesting. Normally you see other teams, other weapons that teams bring that bring the armor, like the H3 Nozzle Nose, or even the Tri-Slosher, but ANZAP has been growing a bit in popularity lately. So it'll be interesting to see how they bring it.
I think with like comps with pros and that, you need that extra paint that the NZAP can bring. And while the H3 does paint a lot, the NZAP is very good at that. While we're talking, by the way, 3 people go team wipe on the side of Inklings team, I believe. And
yeah, Suspense showing very early on why they're one of the top seeds in this tournament. I mean, going right off the bat with a complete team wipe, and they're really pushing up well. So
yeah, the Slosh are just applying a lot of pressure on that snipe right now.
I think this team don't show up with a lot of specials on the zone right now. They might just be headed for a quick knockout.
Well, they're obviously searching for someone to get. It seems like Inklings team are just trying to filter in. They do manage to take. They've taken down the whole team, so that was a really well executed push, if you don't mind me saying. Using the baller to make an opening in the Stingray as well. Now, I'm obviously cheering for Inklings team because of the custom jet squelcher, but we'll see what.
we'll see. Bias casting, yeah, but very much they're showing up. With a good counter push. I mean, Suspense is not an easy team to beat. They're not an easy team to counter push against. So just the fact that they're able to get that full team wipe, and it was a full team wipe, so that's really good on Inklings team. Then it's like exactly what they needed. And you don't often see teams that can do this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're managing to hold it quite well. They did just lose their hands up, and the zone is going in the way. The Booyah Bomb coming out, potentially stopping the zone cap. Keeping the zone in their favor, and that timer keeps on ticking down. The picks, however, coming out from Suspense at the moment, and they do manage to take the zone back because of that.
Yeah, the Booyah Bomb got buffed pretty heavily a little while ago, so you might be seeing it a lot more, and it's definitely used to good effect in this push, where Inklings team are able to get back the zone and get a couple picks. And generally, if you're in a Booyah Bomb, there's really not a lot of things you can do.
Yeah, exactly, which is quite good to see, and obviously this match is quite good. I think it's quite close already, so hopefully this continues on throughout the set.
Yeah, the lead is going back and forth, but now Suspense, if they're able to get some picks here and get the zone, but 3 down on Suspense, so that's very well done.
That's unfortunate.
That should be a zone push. And what they're really trying to not very much trying to avoid both teams at the moment. Is getting full team wipe. We're seeing a lot of team wipes, and it might be good for both teams to start thinking about making sure that they're staying alive.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So, I mean, I think we're seeing more out of Inklings' team than we would normally be seeing. Like, they're doing quite well in this match, to be honest, to be fair.
Yeah, I'm definitely... I mean, Inklings' team might have been underseeded a bit, but Suspense definitely is a team that you're expecting to really take maybe a top 5 spot in this tournament, so... seeing them put up such a good fight, it's very interesting to see. And even though Suspense is in the lead, Inklings' team is holding it together very well right now, as we see the Anzap just painting everywhere around the base and everywhere in the zone. The pain-heavy playstyle, which they might very well need, just because of the weapons that the team does have that aren't painting very well, like the custom jet squelch, which, I mean, it's a very good weapon, but
it's not very good at the painting. I would say. And whilst it can be quite useful and very accurate, it kind of struggles in that aspect where something like a ballpoint gets more coverage. And this match is very close. As you can see, Suspense, I think, just checking the corner, just making sure nobody's going to try a flank. And they're just holding quite a standard hold here. As that timer ticks down, even though they check the corner, someone does go that way. And they do end up with like a sort of trade. So it's 3v3 at the moment. You would think that Inklings' team would be wanting to get those specials, and yeah, as you see the Booyah Bomb coming out and the Stingray, which is going to neutralize most likely, or maybe not, in fact, a very good hold, and the Baller comes in. Unfortunately, they do lose the zone on the side of Suspense, and Baller isn't going to be able to get much done.
Inklings' team taking that back, and you really see that Suspense and Inklings' team are just taking it back and forth all this match.
Yeah, it's going back and forth. It's really
to be a very good best of 3 set.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, and you can see that the pro is actually doing a lot of work with that Booyah Bomb. It might not have captured the zone, but the pressure that a Booyah Bomb puts out, it's a complete area denial. And because of that buff, which increases the size of the Booyah Bomb's like radius, which kind of really does help. And they do take the lead back, and it's just counting down now into the final seconds. Suspense has to really push in right now, and they do manage to capture the zone, taking out.
Super exciting, such a close match.
Yeah, this is really good.
Back and forth so often, you see that the penalty points under the score is going to be very low, just because it changes lead so often. So
and that's 2 coming out from the side of and the counter baller as well to keep the zone in possession. They're really doing a really good job holding here. Inklings' team are jumping in. They're trying to get some neutralization down. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I don't know if they're going to be able to... No, that's it. And it's Suspense to take it in the overtime with the lead. Incredible. That was a really good play. But, I mean, Inklings' team...
Yeah, you see how hard it was as well. Because the baller that Suspense was used just a second or 2 after the baller for Inklings' team. So all the paint that the baller from Inklings' team got on the zone was immediately neutralized. As you see it, 20 KA by the Slusher.
Yeah, the Slusher was really going off there. Slusher Decker... Knowing why it's a strong weapon that people don't see as often, but it's still quite a popular weapon in like a mid-tiering range. Inklings' team were using the dualies, the Kensa dualies, which are the more favored baller weapon. I would hazard and say. What do you think? Maybe Inklings' team could bring to this next match? Do you know? Come back from this.
I mean, the Slusher was just very helpful in that match. He just consistently got behind his teammates and managed to pick him off. So maybe the Inklings team need to work together as well. I mean, every time where I saw a flank, then even if the Inklings team got that kill, the Slusher was right behind it. And managed to just throw some ink around and get that pick off. So maybe they should work together and get some combo flanks going with 2 or 3 people, or push the zone together with 2 or 3 people at the same time, because their special pushes were very good, but
incredibly good. The Stingray and Booyah Bomb coordination was quite nice, and it was good to see that. We saw a very clear example of it. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. They need to focus on that Slusher maybe a bit more, just put some pressure on him, because he's being given too much free reign and able to basically just rain down ink on top of everybody.
Yeah, going into that Anzap plus that Kensa dualies, you'll see that the Slusher outranges both of them and has a very favorable matchup versus that weapon.
And he's going to be bringing it out again, so we'll be seeing that some more of that Slusher deco in this match. It's going to be TC on Inkbot Art Academy. And
so double dualies from Inklings team this time. Do you think the Emperies is a good change?
I'm not sure. But I think maybe because of the way that the map is designed, it sort of all comes upwards towards the sides. And on tower control, you really want to have that inkjet to take out people on the high ground, especially potentially that splat lane that could be raining down onto the tower. So 2 down at the moment on the side of Inklings' team, and it's looking like the pressure that Suspense are exerting at the moment is quite good. It's very strong, and they're holding the mid. They haven't really pushed the tower, but I think that's a good tactical play because they haven't really got to a point where they have enough people up or they have enough of the enemy down to even make that decision. As I'm talking, by the way,
Inklings' team on the map, but
yeah,
they don't have really the people to play around it. So even though they're more alive, they might be 4 alive, but if they don't have any ink on the map, they just really need to get some ink going. But instead, Inklings' team is getting all the ink on the map. It's now going for a good push, going past that first checkpoint, which is very helpful.
Yeah,
and again, 2 down on Suspense, so this might be almost a quick knockout if it continues like this.
Yeah, and the Stingray coming out from the attacking team here. The first Stinger that came out from Suspense didn't really stop anything. However, the tower does fall back into a neutral favor and just creeps towards the middle. Suspense push themselves back into the mid after taking out a couple of the members of Inkling's team.
And those Stingrays are very interesting because last match we saw the ballpoint splatling instead of the average splatling, which would make a lot of sense on zones. You know, the Cloud was very helpful.
Yeah, Cloud is incredibly strong.
On this map, you kind of need a Stingray just to sit somewhere in the bottom, and you have to just Stingray into your spawn and all the way over your opponent's platform. I mean, it's just a very helpful place to be.
Yeah, exactly, and especially in TC.
Yeah,
especially in TC, it's super important. And people have been running a lot more Object Shredder recently on Stingrays as well, because so it's kind of negating the armor buff that they really did get recently. Suspense is starting and trying to make a push here. It's 1-for-1 at the moment. The Stingray does come out and the counter ray. We'll see who wins that. It turns out that the prevailing ray was the original one, and the tower push is just going to come to an unfortunate end here for Suspense, as Inkling's team moves back into the middle and gets that paint down. And they do have an overwhelming amount of paint compared.
Yeah, very well played by Inkling's team. I mean, the Stingray came in a bit late, but stopping each of these pushes in Suspense is not easy, and they're able to stop them quite consistently. I mean, there's not been one push where Suspense has been able to get a team wipe in this match, which we saw a lot of them during the last match, where we saw team wipe after team wipe and getting in the specials, doing them 4 at the same time. This match is just not happening for Suspense, so the one thing they could rely on last match is just not happening.
There's a lot of back and
forth either.
Yeah, there's a lot of back and forth. So the Slusher Machine just traded there with the Slusher, and Suspense is starting a push again, trying to get to that checkpoint. The Stingray comes out to stop that, does take out the Splatling, and again, it looks like that's the end of the push, unless something miraculous can happen with that Slusher.
Wow,
his whole team...
defense again, yeah. I mean, there was an Inkjet in their spawn, trying to pick off that Stingray, but he didn't manage to get the kill, and every single one of Suspense members got wiped. So now they have only 1.5 minutes to really get something going and get a push that's all the way on that platform.
However, this match is still quite close because Inkling's team hasn't got past that second checkpoint, which is incredibly, like, having those checkpoints is super important to the game plan and how far you can push in a single attempt. If you wait too long on a push, it's not going to be that easy for you without multiple team wipes. So Suspense start up their push again. They do send out the missiles. I didn't realize it, but the Slosher was a standard Slosher this entire time. So they were using Tenta missiles.
Yeah, that's something you definitely don't see every day. I mean, kind of an odd team composition regardless, but...
It's always nice to see new stuff, though.
Something you really ever see, yeah.
It's nice to see new stuff.
And again, Inkling's team stopping them there.
Yeah, taking them out.
That's pretty much
it also kind of came out of the Stingray that they did manage to get off and take out the enemy team's backline, and that was just the catalyst they needed, and they pushed immediately in, and they've taken it all back, and it's looking like a strong hold with 30 seconds left to go.
So Inkling's team having 3 specials ready already. So if they can keep those specials alive, if they can keep themselves alive for the next 20 seconds, they'll have by that time a rate to fall back on. So if Inkling's team makes sure to not get team wire at the moment, they've almost certainly got it in the bag. But we'll see what Suspense can do if they can, because they really need to get into their spawn. Because if the Stingray can stay in their spawn, you know, Suspense's Stingray is only at 60%, as you can see. So if the Stingray goes off right now and it is uncontested, it might be very hard to get a push on.
It's looking like this won't be an opportunity. They do get on the tower, but there's only one person left and they're jumping in. They don't...
Team kills, going for the KO instead of the objective.
Unfortunately, they didn't really get anywhere, and Inkling's team do take that one. So 1-1 in this first set that we're watching. So we did pick quite well, I think. We did a good job.
Yeah. Yeah, very well. I mean, or you could say I seeded badly, which is also the other option. And
Well,
this
we
is
don't know
definitely a
yet.
match to look out for.
We don't know yet. But that match, the KAs, they were quite even. There wasn't really much in the way of like an overwhelming domination that whole match. It all just kept coming back to the middle. I mean, the defense from Inklings' team was impeccable when Suspense were making their pushes. But I think
Yeah.
Suspense have done a lot more to push in there because the missiles, I don't think were a good idea. They should have. Obviously, not to bash on the team composition, but I feel like that Buller might have helped them a bit more. However, we are going to be going to our final map in this first round of the Swiss, which is going to be Snapper Canal Rainmaker. What do you
Yeah,
think of this?
exactly. Well, I mean, we almost say like it's been a complete shift, but I mean, both games were very close, so it's not like Suspense just played really poorly that match. They played pretty well in both matches, and Inklings' team played really well both matches, and one just went one way and one went the other way, so it might not be
They
an
were both
irritating
close.
competition. So it's just a very close match. But on Snapper Canal, I mean, on Rainmaker, roads, and I'm curious to see where the teams are going because both roads are very viable. You can go far left or you can go straight through the middle. Straight through the middle is a lot more points and a lot faster, but it's also a lot scarier because you can just get picked off from the opponent's snipe.
You get jumped on by a weapon on the top
Well,
of the
Shevlin's
snipe.
likely.
Yeah, which we might be seeing at Suspense again, potentially with the Baller this time. I wonder if any interesting weapons might pop out from
Yeah,
both teams.
point or heavy, what do you think?
Neither. Well, it seems to be a heavy on
Jet
the
Squad,
side of
yeah.
Suspense, and Inklings team have got the custom jet squadron, so you know who I'm rooting for. The comps other than that seem quite typical, aside from the opting to go for the. I think that's the Tentatech, and also on the side of the Tentatech on the side of Suspense, and the Dapples on the side of Inklings team. I'm talking.
Push that Rainmaker because that was a 10-second ray, and I don't think he was close to the Rainmaker.
That was
So you
incredible.
might have just, yeah. Is that a full special charge, Bluffling? Whatever it is putting in a lot of work right now because there's 3 down at the moment
They miss,
as they miss the Rainmaker.
but
Yeah,
they're still
that-
making that push. They've still got an opportunity, and he has the ray. He has the ray already, so this is going to be really helpful for their push. And he's putting pressure on that backline as well, just to stop the team from coming in. They do take out the Rainmaker, so unfortunately, he doesn't manage to save his team, and it's just a Splatling and the Tentatech now. So really backing off at this point might be the best option. As I say that, the Tentatech manages to get one. He gets two.
Oh, that was almost a very good play. I mean,
It was still a good play.
To go behind them. Yeah, but I mean, if his teammates were behind him, it could have been a very good play.
Yeah, well, I
Unfortunately,
mean,
it just got wiped a bit too soon.
yeah,
I mean,
unfortunately.
if you're holding the Rainmaker, there's not much you can always do. So I can imagine it being tough, but
Oh,
he's
still here. He's still in the place for a flank. He's going to come round to see what he can do.
He's very
Coming for the
hungry.
kills. He does get stopped by that custom jet squadron and the sloshing machine. But they are going to be able to maybe start a bigger push here. Going through the... I think that was the main that time. No, they dropped down through the main. And... sloshing machine using that splashdown to great effect there. And it looks like a hold there for Inklings' team. So this push hasn't really got them many places. 56 isn't a very strong push, not on this map. So we'll see how Suspense see to extend their lead and how Inklings' team respond here. They just need to push.
Team, I mean, the match is very different from the second match, and a lot like the first match, where Suspense was able to get those good pushes going. Because 56 is not a great push. I mean, I definitely want to risk on
the
on
Dapples taking out two behind the Rainmaker.
As they say that though, yeah, Inklings' team is getting some good kills right now.
Yeah, the Stingray coming out, and they have the brain to help with the path. They just need to getting taken out. Not unfortunately, an incredible pick by the side of Suspense. They are
good if he's getting top of the Rainmaker as he is.
He does
is
get the
push
pop.
to 50. Yeah, it is.
That's the lead. This could potentially be all the way to 20.
Yes, that's a very good push. I mean, I don't know how they got all that ink in their spawn, but there were suddenly a lot of people.
It was the Dapples. The Dapples were in the enemy's spawn. They were doing a lot of work for the team. They capitalized that push as well because they went on that flank and picked up those two and set that rain down, which does an incredibly good job at painting. And the other dualies, the Kensa dualies taking out two again. The Stingray coming out from Inkling's team, and it's looking quite positive for them at the moment. The teamwork seems to have improved throughout this match, and they've kind of just downloaded the enemy team, if you know what I mean. They understand what's going on here.
Very good teamwork from Inkling's team. I mean, going in together in their pushes is a big difference. I mean, Suspense is going in, but the question is, are they going in together, and are they able to really hold the Rainmaker and make sure he doesn't die during your pushes? Because they're getting good kills, but so far Inkling's team is the only one who's made a push.
Yeah.
They're really
I
going
think
into
I
this
think
forward
Suspense
all
need to
team.
keep an eye on their flank because they keep getting flanked, and it's an incredible play by Rawny here with the Dapple Doolies taking out people on the flank. But I mean, he literally just took out I think 2 members of the team, and it's just given his team an entry to come in and put more pressure on the Rainmaker. They do take out one more person, the Slush Machine down here, and seem to hold the Rainmaker in this position, just down on that corner. So maybe another push out of this potentially.
Yes, Inklings team is looking at a very good upset round 1. I mean, Suspense were one of the top seeds in this tournament. And Inklings team, I mean, not to underestimate them, but it's not a team that you generally see upsetting a team like Suspense right in round 1. So they've definitely improved a lot since last time. I mean, first seed, but
Yeah, they've definitely made progress here, but like that, they're a reliable team to get that mid sort of top 8, top 16
exactly.
placing, and that it's very nice to see Inklings team, maybe an older team that like you mentioned, they play a lot together, and their teamwork is quite high, even if they aren't typically well-known players, if you know what I mean. Like they're good players, but you don't see them as often in the books. So maybe this might be the tournament for them. Maybe they can really pull something off here and push further.
I mean, you can have a 20-kill slasher on your team, but if you can't get a push together, then you're just going to get run over by a team of friends, you know, like Inklings team. And they seem to have a lot of fun while playing. They seem to be playing very well together. So this might just be the future of Splatoon.
As we're saying that, Spence are starting up a push here.
This is their last push. I mean, this is their one chance. If they die with the Rainmaker right now, it might be tough for them.
And that's it.
Yeah, very well.
That was
very
really well played. Really well played by Inklings team. They got a great push going on. The flanks they had were perfect. And the Stingray pressure as well on that main area. Obviously, I like it because it's a CJS, but the Stingray pressure to that main ramp did a lot for them in that situation, and they just managed to come out on top. A team that wasn't seeded as high as Suspense and really kind of brought it out in the end there. All 3 of the matches, in fact, were very, very tight. So we'll see how they do later on in the tournament.
Yeah, I'm very interested to see their run in the tournament, and also interested to see how Suspense will bring it back, because they got a favourable seed and it didn't come true, but, you know, it's still a long time to go. There's 6 rounds, so if they can get 4 or 5 wins in the next rounds, they might still be able to put it off. The run rush generally means you have to get at least... I mean, they pretty much have to win the rest of them if they really want to...
Yeah. So we got the round 1. Round 1 matches up on the screen. I believe.
Actually, they're going to be 4-win teams that are advancing to playoffs, but yeah, they do.
Well, we'll see how we do. So the teams here in the round 1 here, some notable names coming out. Polar Race taken out with a 2-0. I believe they're the top seed of the tournament. Blooper Inc. falling to L Eclipse, which I believe is an L Firmament shoot off. The Blooper Inc. were seeded higher, but that seems like it was a close match. L Arctic taking out Chemistry as well. Lots of names, lots of good big names up here on this board. In my opinion, there's some big names that are possibly gonna be taking this tournament home today. So, do you have any favorites here? Who do you think?
Well, I mean, I seeded, so my favorites are listed in order, right from number 1 to number 42, or 43 actually. But I do see a lot of teams. I mean, Gaguko really showing up today, beating Hydrus, which I thought was a good team, and I mean, I still think they do, but apparently Gaguko way underestimated. Nice comeback. Eclipse, I'll be honest, it's sometimes tough to to distinguish between the
Galactic, Firmament, Eclipse. They all have similar names.
They're all good, but no,
and they switch their rosters.
We're all good, but yeah. But very well done in beating Blooper Inc. because Blooper Inc. is no joke. Blooper Inc. is a good team. So,
yeah, they are a good
team.
Very well done. I'm looking at Blackline and Typhoon. Typhoon took out Blackline with a 2-0. Blackline being a really quite well-known team, doing quite well and having a high seed in this tournament. So Typhoon really coming out of there with that 2-0. So hopefully we might see some more of them earlier on in the bracket.
Yeah, so, yeah. And Typhoon is really, I mean, it's a really, it changes a lot from day to day, Typhoon, because they can lose to some of the mid teams, but they got, as you can see right now, they can also take games and even matches off of. Really interesting to see if they can work together, and maybe they can work a lot on their consistency. And as you can see right now, they're doing very well. So
Yeah, that's quite good. I think that's interesting. We'll see more later on today. So that concludes round one basically for us. That's all the matches that have been played, and we watched our match, which is a very close one. I think that's all but one of the matches have concluded now. So round two will be starting shortly. Who are you interested in seeing in the next round?
in the next round, other brackets up already? No, they're not. Oh wait, of course, there's
There's one more match to go.
played. Yeah, I
One more
mean,
match to go.
it's likely gonna see at least at least one of Polar Ace. I'm not gonna say that name, but Noctis's team and Energetic in some of the final matches. So most likely, I'm gonna looking at some upset team that just run right now, like Gaguka, which I didn't see coming, like Typhoon, which is really putting off today, or as we already saw, like Inklings team.
Yeah, I think Inklings
See
team
what they're gonna do.
I think Inklings team are going to be a team that's going to be moving on to bracket if they're playing that well, at least, and beating Suspense in the first round when really it was kind of weighted against them, and Suspense was such a large record behind them. I'm interested in Energetic, so that's a recently formed team.
Yeah.
They're a recently formed team, but with a lot of very strong members on it. So I want to see how they perform, how they show off their roster to really give us like a showing, like this is what we can do, this is what we can bring. So that would be nice, and also for me, it's I believe Polar Ace as well because they're always strong showing. They are the top seed. I like to root for the ones that already are established.
Just rooting for the underdogs. Let's see you. Yeah, I mean, the team is always playing Sea Scraper. They're very, I mean, I wouldn't say Sea Scraper enthusiasts, but I like seeing them return pretty much every week. So I'm interested to see how they will be able to do against Energetic, against Polar Ace today. And of course, versus Inklings team, who have shown to be one of the top seeds today. And also, Astra Move have been in Pelagos 2-1, so very well played. But in the meantime, I also need to tell you about today. I mean, it's the last Sea Scraper, and what we'd like to do is get some odd prizes going on. I already donated some money. You can press
Very nice
donate. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm a good man. But you can do @donate, or no, sorry, !donate. You can look at the PayPal that is in announcements, and any money that you will donate go to the art prizes that will be handed down to the winners. We'd love to see at least a nice picture today. So if you'd like to sponsor Sea Scraper, please consider donating. If not, then that's fine. It's a free tournament. You can do whatever you like. You don't have to.
I believe the command's going to be shooting off in chat with the PayPal link inside of it. So
sure, I'm not going to be in chat because it will lag everything to shit. But
it'll make stuff break. So that'll happen. It'll happen.
I believe you. I believe you.
If it doesn't, it's !donate. So if you think about that sort of thing,
very interesting to see.
Okay, round two.
Polar Ace in round two. That's going to be interesting. I mean, Polar is a very new team. Do you know anything about them? Or
I'm sorry, who say them again?
Which is Polar Ace, but then instead of Ace, it's Knight.
No, I don't. But they're also up against Polar Ace this round.
Yeah.
Maybe I think I'm interested in watching Anxiety Sirens versus Typhoon, to be honest, because I know that Anxiety Sirens are a really high placing team. They place quite respectably, and Typhoon really had a good showing in that first round. So Anxiety Sirens versus Typhoon, I think, hopefully is the match we'll be going to watch. That'll be good stuff.
Or if you could hear Lean through the back of our stream, but we've just
we've confirmed that
the match that we're gonna watch during the next episode of Sea Scraper.
The next episode. We got episodes now. Now I can tell you stuff about Sirens while we wait. Just because they're my friends.
We have an expert here on board,
I have an expert. So they got quite a few good members on their team. They got people like Justice, who is a really, really good dualies player. Shows up in all the tournaments that he joins. I'm just gonna give him a pat on the back a little bit here and say that he does a lot of stuff for his team. Conroe, is there a Tentactech or their frontline player, and he's very strong. He's not too much on the killing side, but his support and the way he because he's sort of the captain, he does the shouting and the calls. the way he commands the team and brings them together is admirable, to say the least. And other than that,
Is he a
they've
true
got
team player?
he's a true team player, and that's how you win in this game, is playing as a team. It's all about the opinions you give off and the charisma you show and the friendships you form. So
They're a friends group, right? I mean,
they are a group of friends. They're all Britain based, so they're all from the UK. And well, aside from one of their members who is a new member, Ebbs is one of their blaster players now, and they're all quite close. They know each other well, so that sort of kind of plays into their dynamic and also helps them, I think, with playing as a team. I don't know much about Typhoon, however. So
Typhoon it's a French team. I mean, I did my research as well. Typhoon is a French team. They've been playing a lot in the league, that the Mitris League, the EG.
Esports
the
Bros
Esports
League, yeah.
Bros League, exactly. And they've been showing some very good results there. They've also played in more non-French tournaments lately. I mean, they used to be basically just the French league team, but now they're also playing in other tournaments, and they've been showing up a lot, and they've been putting out good results and mediocre results. So pretty much every time you see them, it's going to be very interesting to see whether they're going to bring a top result with them today or a bottom result today. And it's looking today like they're going to be knocking out some good teams. I mean, they got a very good team round one, a very nice win. So I'm looking at them. I mean,
They could show up. They could really show up if they manage to take out Anxiety Sirens. That seems like a good bracket team, a team that might make it all the way to the end of the bracket potentially, and face off against teams like Polar Ace and Energetic. These teams that are quite highly seeded and quite well known to be, or at least the players are well known to be very strong. So maybe they can come out of here and really push themselves on a good day to get
like
all
what
the
you
way
said,
through.
these teams, they're if they win today or well in this round, there's a very good chance that they'll be able to make it to playoffs, because these two early rounds, they bring a lot to you later on in the tournament in the tiebreaker fashion. So if you win against a good team right now, even if you tie at the end with other teams, the tiebreaks are going to favor you.
Yeah, exactly.
To knock out these two teams now, and even if they lose one or two matches later on in the bracket,
yeah,
because they beat some good teams and they're going to be seated highly. So this is a very important match for them, I think, just because of.
If they manage to take this one out, they'll be seeded against a higher team, but they'll also have 2 wins under their belt, and I believe there's 6 rounds in the Swiss tournament. So coming through with 2 out of the 6 matches being a straight up win is going to be really good for them, and it's going to give them bright prospects for the future. At least I hope. So potentially we could see a good match coming out from them, and if they win this, obviously, and a good tournament coming out from them in the end. So the match we're going to be going on to Manta Maria.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. I mean, you know Anxiety Sirens. Do you know what they're going to bring to this match? Do you know what team comps they're going to bring?
Potentially an Explosion, which is going to be fun to see. Explosion is obviously. Sorry?
Is Miku bring the Explosion?
Yeah, it would be Miku who would bring the Explosion. Miku is a strong Explosion player, and obviously Explosion you don't see as much on maps like on TCE or Rainmaker or something like that, because it's just such a static role that you sit and you spam. But the baller the baller that comes with the custom Explosion is great for pushing in on clan pushes, and also the bubbler from the standard Explosion as well, I believe, is also really good at that role. So on Clan Blitz, you see them quite often, and the bunkers on Manta Maria are really kind of safe havens for Explosives to kind of sit there and spam. So hopefully, maybe potentially, we could see that coming out from Anxiety. Obviously, the dualies from Justice seem quite obvious, and either a Ted's deck or an Octoshot from Conroy.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily want to weigh it myself on what exact team comp Typhoon are going to bring. I mean, I have some hunches, but I'm not going to be... I'll look an idiot if I have it completely wrong. So I think I'll just... I'm interested to see how they're going to bring that Explosion as well, because indeed, these specials are so good on this map. And there's a lot of good places you can be with the Explosion. I mean, the Explosion can pretty much, in one shot, hit the entirety of their bunker if you're on it. I mean, it's very hard to dodge once you're on it. So
interesting. So we do have the comps that at least the lineup of players that are going to be playing. So it's going to be Justice and Ebbs that I was talking about previously, and Brit as well, who's a really good slosher machine. Lucifer 2 on the roster, who I don't think is a standard member, but they have a really strong custom jet, which is great. A strong
Lucifer
custom
is
jet.
from Ararafis, isn't she?
Yes, I believe so. And quite a good custom jet, which is going to be fun. Maybe again to have another custom jet showing up. As you see the usage stats for such a weapon to rise recently, ever since the heavy kind of fell out of favor from the ballpoint and the exposure kind of doing its role better than it.
You need 3 lanes of run speed to have some movement. I mean, what good is a weapon, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what I would say, Emil. You're becoming more and more like me every day. On Typhoon, the roster seems to be Darkrai, Peruna, DMM. Honestly, I don't know the names. I think I've heard of Darkrai before, but is it a strong roster for them potentially? Do they have a static roster?
Yeah, Darkrai is pretty much the last one didn't join yet, which is why we only said 3 names, by the way. But the Darkrai is definitely their team captain. I think he's pretty much the leader of that group.
I
And
see.
he always shows up for tournaments. He's always there, and he's always very consistent. So, I mean, this is pretty much the team we want to bring if you're gonna.
Yeah, of course. Should be good to see.
I definitely think they have a very good chance against Exciting, especially in their current form. I mean, they just came from a good win. I mean, they're just slowly growing, and they're just coming up to the top to one of the best teams in
the progress they're making then seems to be quite like you've been saying that their results have been back and forth. They've had really good days and they've had really, really bad days. So maybe coming out of this, we've already had a strong showing, a strong start. So maybe we're going to have a really good day and they're going to keep climbing. They're going to have even better days. And then slowly, one day we might see them really right at the top doing lots of incredible work to take out teams like Anxiety Sirens, potentially. So we'll see. Obviously, I'll be cheering for Anxiety. That's a bit of bias behind me.
No, I mean, I can imagine. Let me go for Typhoon then, because I really want to see them do well. I mean, they've been doing well. They've been doing so. I mean, if they can break through in a tournament like this, if they can get playoffs, if they can get a few matches going.
In this here, the final sea scraper, we'll see something. We'll see something come
up. Perfect tournament to break through.
Yeah, well, it's a big good way to break through.
The French rusted scene. As we're just starting.
Yeah, we'll just be going into this.
Sirens is going to be playing in yellow, and Typhoon is playing in blue.
Yeah, nice, easy one to follow, I believe. So, the exposure coming out from Lucifer, Justice with the Doolies, like I predicted. The Dynamo on the side of Typhoon. Interesting choice. We'll see how that plays out.
Well, you know what team I'm rooting for now. It's my baby, so you're going to have to you battle out for me.
Okay, well, let's start out pretty
control at the moment. I mean, they're just going in very fast. As we see the torpedoes coming out, those are going to be very annoying.
2 down already for Typhoon, 3 down for Typhoon. It's a quite commanding mid-take here for the Anxiety Sirens. They're pushing back that last member, picking up the clams and taking out that control. Already at 21 within the first 30 seconds of the match. Really setting up
down. The sniper is even down, which is normally not the one you're going to want to expect to come down at the start.
Yeah.
If they're going to be able to, I mean, they already have 2 clams. They have 22 points going on, so...
At least they're getting pressure here. Managing to use the bubbles. That was an incredible play. Using the bubbles to protect themselves against the Brella and asking for that team support. That's some good communication there. Because of that, being allowed to...
Splosh going on, doing very well. Mika's not playing it, but Lucifer is playing it. Getting that double kill, which is very important.
Double kill. Incredible.
Down, they see the Brella right now. If they can... knock it out.
Yeah, they take out the Brella, so this is looking like it's going to be at least a 40-point push. The pressure from that explosion really stopping the players from coming up. The Dynamo maybe needs to get in on that high ground and just rain down some holy heaven upon the top of that explosion to really push them back. Typhoon do take back control here. Anxiety, I believe, leaving because they didn't really have enough clams to continue that push. And as we all know, really kind of holding in a dangerous place like that doesn't really help you as a team. So coming back in, there is 1 down now. So this could be on the side of Anxiety Sirens, which could be potentially a push if Typhoon play their cards right. The ball is being held by Brit at the moment, which is a good thing, I guess, because it takes away clams from Typhoon. As I'm saying that, they managed to get someone in. Yeah,
and I mean, so far, Anxiety Sirens is the only team that has been pushing. So, I mean, even if they get some down, if they're all the only team that keep on pushing, if they just keep on throwing in clams, it's gonna be eventually be able to knock it out. And I mean,
yeah, well, they're already down to 13.
That's a very good.
I'd see that tactical play jumping out as soon as they knew that there's no clams for them and they can't push in anymore. They immediately jumped out. That's team communication. That's some really good teamwork there. and it kind of starves Typhoon of the advantage that a team would usually get from a failed or ending push, because they'd be able to get the kills off of
Just
it.
hiding in the ink right now, their own ink, doing very well. Wow, even getting a clam.
Yeah,
If they're able
just
to push this, I mean,
he's going for the flank.
pretty
He
much
does
got
get it in. He gets
and
it
if
in.
they're able to get another clam, this is going to be a knockout in 1
That's
second.
it.
It will
That's
be
a
over.
knockout. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it. Wow.
very well played.
That was a almost perfect game from Anxiety Sirens. They didn't really die that much. I'd be interested to see the kills, but like the teamwork there was incredible. They were jumping in and out. It's kind of hard to keep track of where the players were at all time, if I'm quite honest.
I mean, we're not going to see quad zeros, but definitely, I mean, not only the control, but also just very much the kills this game. We're all in favor of Anxiety. And that's not what I expected, because Typhoon is bringing it today, but Anxiety Sirens really working together well. They were able to perform team plays well. They're able to all stay alive whenever, even during that pushes. I mean, normally when you get in 30 or 40 clams, that's going to be, indeed, as you said, some risks, some downside to it. I mean,
yeah, because you're
might
pushing in,
die.
aren't you? You're pushing in, and that's usually a bad thing, because you're like, well, no, it's a good thing to make the push, but like on stuff like Rainmaker and stuff like TC, when you made that push, you fully committed, and everybody's like, most people are going to die on that push unless you have a perfect push like attempt, and it all plays off perfectly. Those clan pushes, they barely ever ended with a death. They barely ever ended with a full wipe. I didn't think I saw a moment in that match when there was more than 1 or 2 Anxiety members down at that time, and the relentless pressure that they put on Typhoon was incredible to see. So maybe we're going to be going back and seeing this in the next match. I don't know about you. Do you have anything more to say potentially?
Yeah, Typhoon just didn't get a lot of say in the matter. I mean, they didn't get run over, but they really never got a push going. So it was a decently long game, but during every part of it, it was pretty clear that Anxiety had the upper hand, and that they're not going to let go. So I'm excited to see what Typhoon are going to bring this match to able to. They're going to have to not die as much, and they're going to have to maybe step back a bit. I mean,
Aggression, that's the word I'm thinking. They need to be aggressive.
The exact opposite I was thinking, but maybe that will work.
No, I think because they're not showing that aggression. They're not pushing in. Like, I feel like the team cohesion that Anxiety has, you need to dismantle that one by one. You need to take out their key players. And as soon as the key players are, like, as soon as there's 1 or 2, the front lines are gone, you just tear into the team. You go in as hard as you can. And potentially we can see that on a small map like Blackbelly. So I mean, I don't know about you.
I think competition might favour him a bit more, because we saw how effective Anxiety's explosion was with getting multiple kills. You saw how Anxiety's long-range weapons did a lot of the work here. And in this case, the Dynamo might do a lot of work. But we see
interesting composition
from Typhoon. So
yeah, an interesting composition.
Strategy this time.
Yeah, it can work. It's quite powerful with that Dynamo. That paint coverage, you don't exactly need that midline to just do all your painting. So potentially they could get something going here. The Explosion for Anxiety are currently on the top mid, so that's a lot of pressure. But those 3 backlines can apply even more pressure onto them. So I don't think staying up there would be good for the long run. Anxiety kind of just controlling the game at the moment. They've come in, they've taken out everybody, and now they're just holding up close. So.
Yeah, the team composition is not necessarily bad. I mean, if we look at Japan, we see a lot of Explosion plus Sniper combinations, so it can definitely work. And usually they're paired with a shit ton of Kensa Dualies and Kensa Slushing Machines. So that's also what we're seeing here. I mean, the Kensa Slushing Machine.
Yeah.
It might just work for them.
It might work. They need to get in. 2 down now for Anxiety. Or, in fact, 1 down. It's looking like the bullet from Typhoon. I can't speak. The bullet from Typhoon doesn't really get much done in this case. And Anxiety.
Oh, just in that spot.
That was dirty. The collateral coming out from Darkrai, managing to take 2 out at once. That was beautiful.
We have to really paint up well now. And I mean, they're 3 down. I can't imagine why they haven't gotten zones yet. I mean, the Dynamo needs to just get some nice flicks. I mean, you see the Dynamo going for a lot of large flicks. I mean, air flicks, which have a lot of horizontal space, but don't paint as much in a single area. So maybe the Dynamo should just be focusing on
that. Didn't last long to me.
People paint. No,
that was unfortunate. That didn't last long at all. Typhoon, and yeah, I think you're right. The Dynamo needs to be doing more on that painting job, but you can't really paint when the Anxiety is so quick to come in and take you out. The Explosion doing a great area denial job there on the zone, on Anxiety zone. So it was. I think that's what the Dynamo was really struggling with. Hopefully the Typhoon players can push back in. The steering does come out, and they're trying to do something here. But The
Yeah,
Dynamo
Typhoon playing
living,
is what is
incredible.
necessary now. They're just all staying alive. They're getting their specials ready. They're making sure not to die, and they're getting back in. And it is rewarded with a nice double kill.
Yeah.
So
So two
they're getting
down.
ready to top mid. I mean, it's just structurally getting a better position out of
Yeah.
this. But Anxiety not carrying that at all. They're
Not
just
at all. They've come in. They've
with
taken
ballers.
3 out. I mean,
Sniper, very
that
nice
was a
kill,
good
but
snipe.
is it gonna
But I
save
don't
him?
think it's
He's
going to
got
save
20
his
seconds
team.
left. I mean, game seconds. Is this going to be enough time for them to even get back one zone?
They're coming in. They're trying to get the paint down. They're trying to neutralize.
both zones, but they only didn't have their
They
own
can't do
zone.
it. They can't
Yeah,
do it.
close.
Oh, right at
Oh.
the end. This could be. Unfortunately, we don't
yeah.
see that coming out from Typhoon, which is definitely not. Unfortunately, not something we wanted to see in that case. But it was a good match, and the triple backline was interesting to see. And I still think Typhoon can really push through on this match. However, Anxiety, that was a lot of control. That was a lot of pain, and that was a lot of damage.
Yeah, you see them just pushing up a lot better. Anxiety. I mean, it was to be expected, of course, when you're running double or even triple backline, that the opposing team is going to be able to push it further. But they really needed to not get team wiped in that position, because it's a lot tougher with 2 or 3 snipers or 2 or 3 backliners to really get back into the action and to make sure that you're going to be able to get back that pain. So it just took a long time for Typhoon. And during all that time, Anxiety got a lot of pain. They got a lot of kills.
And they
got
respawned.
a lot of...
So these picks they were getting were just getting overrun by the fact that it was so slow for them to get back in. Still, a very good match that we saw. A very good match from Anxiety Sirens as well. Congrats to them for taking that, and Typhoon as well for showing up.
Yeah, it was a good match.
It was
definitely no run over. It was definitely an exciting match. And
it was, yeah, I must agree. It's a very exciting match. 2-0 doesn't tell the whole story, in my opinion. Never does. Never does. So, we're looking here at the round 2 matches. The round 2 matches, what we're seeing here? We're seeing some results.
Still at 2-0. Noctis Team still at 2-0. Energetic, Lemurio, so that's to be expected.
Blueprint taking out Downpour in a 2-0. In fact, I believe it's just 2-0s on the board at the moment. It was a quick match to see, so it looks like
there are not going to be any 2-1s yet.
There haven't really been any upsets on these matches that have currently shown. It's kind of going the way of the books at the moment, which is the great thing about Swiss. Do you mind elaborating what Swiss does and how it works, Emil?
Of course. I mean, I'm the Swiss expert.
Yeah, King Tio over here.
Yeah, so Swiss, I mean, the first round, the first seed is going to face the middle seed, and the second seed is going to face the 0+1 seed, all the way down to the last seed. So during the first few rounds, you're going to be seeing very one-sided matchups in general, is what you're expecting to see. I mean, it's not exactly what we saw, of course, just because there's nice upsets that we saw by Inklings team, that we saw by Reboot, that we saw by ELERIOUS, very nice game against Blueprint Inc., and Astrum against Pelagos, which was also a very good match. But generally, the first 2 or even 3 rounds, you're going to see a lot of top seeds taking on bottom seeds. But after 3 rounds, the teams are going to be facing the teams that are on their own skill level, that are having the same score on the same day as the other teams. So after 2 or 3 rounds, we're going to be seeing a lot of good matches, and I'm expecting the last 3 rounds to be even more exciting than we are now. I mean, we're picking the good matches now, but during the last few rounds, we're going to see basically all good matches, so there's no more match we can pick at that point.
I really hope we will. I really hope we will be seeing all the good matches, to be honest. Round 2, it's progressing slowly, and those 2-0s are coming out in force at the moment, so it's looking like a pretty rollover match at the moment. Round 3 is going to be soon, I guess, but we need to wait until these matches conclude until we can get onto that topic.
So, do you expect to see any? I mean, we just saw another upset. I mean, Gaguka got another upset against El Zephyr. Really showing up today.
Really? Yeah.
They got 2 upsets today. They got what they beat in the first round again. What team?
I don't quite remember, but I believe it was
a good team. So apparently, I just way undervalued them. So really showing up today, and also putting SPL doing some nice work.
Yeah.
So the rest of the matches, I mean, they're all been 2-0s, of course, but because they're the first matches to finish.
Yeah.
The first matches, so they're still coming in.
I'm just scanning to see all the L's, because there's so many L's. I believe the upset we saw was ELERIOUS beating Blueprint Inc., if I am not mistaken, but El Zephyr as well. A good highlight team. Who did Gaguka beat though? That's that's on my head. The Gaguka again though, coming through like you said. taking out El Zephyr. Maybe
Or also, I mean, Hydras is a team that has a lot of individually good players, but I haven't seen them together yet. So maybe just
maybe we'll see something.
together as a team. Yeah, they just need to
Yeah,
practice more, and then they'll be fine in a while.
they'll be able to
Interesting
come.
to see Content versus Inklings as well. Just because Inklings, I mean, they beat Subspence in the first match, so if they can beat Content as well,
That's big. That's big for them.
they're really going to be looking at a top seed. They're really going to play well. So
We haven't quite got that result yet, so maybe it is going to that third game, which is what we want to see from them. Like, if they've come through and they've shown us on stream that they can do what they can do, like, if they can.
Francis that are playing right now, then we can secretly guess passwords for.
I don't know. I don't know.
5 or 0000.
The most obvious passwords or 05. Wait, I can't even remember the numbers.
0417.
0417, yeah, classic. That's the kill death ratio of a player from a legacy player. Though it's kind of a joke, but I won't explain it now. But the matches are coming in. We haven't got many matches left to be finished. One of those being Inklings team and Conton. So we'll see them in due time, I believe.
All right.
I'm just looking for upsets. There's not much there, not much in the way of upsets, apart from ELERIOUS actually taking out Aurora. So, quite nice to see.
When is the round ending? Do you know? Well, actually, I should know. I'm the TO of this thing. Why did I not know when the round ends? Is that at 32? 3 past?
The round will be ending in, it's 5 past, yeah, 5 past. So the round ends at 5 past.
Yeah, okay. So 5 minutes still be...
Yeah, oh, I see it. And then we got a timer on screen for you as well. So you'll be able to see when that match deadline is going to be. So the teams are going to have to be done by that point. Otherwise, it will be recorded as a tie, I believe. So.
beating Inklings team 2-1, I just noticed. So.
Oh, did they? Okay.
I mean, in another 3-game match, Inklings team managed to beat Suspense very well, but they just ran short of beating Conton. But still, I mean.
We'll still see them later on. We'll see.
Beating so many high-level teams. I mean, they're really showing up, so.
Yeah.
Good on them.
Proud of them. Proud of them for making that progress. Proud of them for going through and doing what they can to progress further into this incredible community that we love so much, filled with so many very passionate players that we hear their opinions all the time. What do we have? Well, and again, I'm just going to mention all the top level teams. Just a quick rundown. So Polar Ace managing to take out Polar Knight, which is their secondary team. Energetic taking out
That's
S4.
not their secondary team, by the way.
Oh, it's not. Oh, I thought you were serious. You had me for a second.
No, it's a completely different team. You was saying, by the way, it was just like, well.
Oh well, still Polar Ace taking out other Polar. The other Polar Knights, as in not the medieval, but the time of day. Energetic taking out Team S4 and Asec. I'm not going to say that last one. Taking out Aquila. So those 3 being the top 3 seeds currently showing up, showing why they're seeded so highly. We're still waiting on the 4th seed, Suspense, but we did see them lose the Inklings team in the first round. So if you're just joining, that's what happened. That's some of the stuff we got to commentate on. As we mentioned before, Anxiety Sirens making waves against Typhoon, taking them out in a nice clean 2-0.
I see what you did there.
you know what I'm playing at. We've got
pro commentators coming through.
Well, yeah, we're definitely pros. Gaguka taking out El Zephyr in a seeding upset, which they've carried on from their first round, where they did take out another team that I believe was seeded higher than them. Hydrus losing to Pudding Splat, which is a cool name, if you ask me.
I was just about to see them like top 5 just because of their name, but yeah, very nice. I mean, I haven't heard of them before. Gotta be honest with you.
No, I haven't either, which is cool. Which is I think seeing them beat Hydrus, who are good players, maybe not playing all the time, but they are still good players that play together. We might see more from them further on in the bracket or in the Swiss. In fact, you don't know how far they're gonna get. ELERIOUS taking out Aurora, which is also another incredible, I guess, seeding upset. Firmament's got a lot of teams, so having their players being able to switch between all of those teams and all of those compositions, it wouldn't be surprised. It's kind of hard to seed them, isn't it, Emil? Oh, he's not here. Okay, it's kind of hard to see. Oh no, he is. He's just pretending he's not here.
Yeah.
So yeah, El Eclipse and El Zephyr and El Firmament, and I believe there's one more in the bracket that I cannot quite find with my eyes at the moment. Loads of L teams.
I mean, they're always showing up. You never know if they're going to be literally the first seed in the tournament or if they're going to be. But they're always doing well. So this is the lesson we learned today. Never underestimate a team with L in front of their names. I mean, the Frenchies, they're going to be good.
It's kind of well known. The French people are The French are incredible at this game. Like this, all of them are on top teams. They're on KP.
And they have a very active community as well. I mean,
oh yeah.
I was talking about the EBTV League, the Demetrius League, the Esports Pros. But there's many tournaments that are pretty much friends only, and the scene is huge there.
Yeah, which is always good, and that's going to be where EC is going to be held this year. So European Championship, which is a Nintendo organized event. I'm not going to plug it. This isn't my place, but I'm going to just mention the fact that there is a Nintendo sponsored event for all the teams in Europe. It's going to be on in early March. But it's going to be held in France, and obviously I think they're doing that as I think it's a tactical move because France is huge with Splatoon. Yeah. They love it. It's one of the most. I'd say it's one of the most popular games there. Ignoring the really popular ones, it's really popular. It's probably one of the most popular Splatoon teams.
Popular game.
Okay, it's a popular esports game that isn't a top esports game.
I get what you mean.
You know what I'm trying to get at here.
Sense. Yeah.
So they're quite an active community, probably one of the biggest outside of Japan and America, because America is huge. So the matches are just concluding. We got a minute left as well. So there's
Blackline and Elementusky are still playing. I expected Blackline to take that, but apparently Elementusky is putting up a good fight. Most likely a 3-game match, and I mean Elementusky are Italians. I think.
Okay, well, they are the lowest seed as well, and Blackline didn't have a good first round, so we might see something come out for them where they can come through, get another upset for us, so we have stuff to talk about.
Blackline 2-1, very well played on their end.
Yeah.
I mean, then we have Uwu versus Firewing. I mean,
I don't want Uwu to win.
You can't root for a team whose name is Uwu.
I can't root for a team whose name is Uwu. It's not. I can't do it. It goes against all my morals. But Firewing are a team that's been around for a while as well. They've got decent players, so they're quite a middling seed. But I think that's more on the conservative side because they have that problem maybe.
Right. So as round 2 is concluding, for round 3 we have a new caster, someone that is better at this than I am, more professional.
Are you sure about that?
You can introduce yourself if you like.
It's another Brit person.
It's another Brit. Oh,
yeah.
Hello, I am ELERIOUS, also known as ELERIOUS96, and I am a bit active in the Splatoon community, but not quite good enough to be a competitive player. But hey.
Hey, you're active in the UK community. That's what we care about. So, you want to pick a match out for us, ELERIOUS? I'm gonna put that on your head immediately. I'm gonna make.
Oh God, really now?
So we got
I'll be going, but.
Oh, okay. Goodbye, Emil.
Yeah, sure.
Bye, Emil.
Bye, Emil. Lovely seeing you. All right. Okay. Shall we go Blooper Inc and Uwu?
Oh, you had to pick that match, didn't you? Okay, so we've got.
Sorry.
We're going to be going against the team that I didn't like personally. The name Uwu, not great, but hopefully we can go to that match. Hopefully we can get to that match. So, do you know about Blooper Inc? I don't expect you to
Blooper Inc, of course, consists of baggage and luggage. The lovely people from Scotland, and I believe Kitsune is in this team, if I read correctly.
Yeah, but if I was checking earlier on the streams, I don't think she's playing. So I know CJ will be playing today. So another really strong player from the UK. Yes. It's all about the UK ones today.
Yes, because I gotta make sure I know what I'm talking about, because otherwise I'd be like, Toby, help me.
No pressure here. All right, so Blooper Inc. They have some strong performances. Do you got any things that you know about them that you could share with us?
Baggage is very strong. He's usually midliner, if I'm correct.
Yeah, he's a midline player. Yeah,
yeah.
Is CJ that uses sticks?
You tell me. I couldn't
I'm
know.
pretty sure one of the members on their team uses sticks, which is I'm not sure if it was Baggage or CJ, but one of their members does use sticks, which will be interesting to see as well.
Oh, it'll be interesting. I'll expect the comments to be, "Oh no, there's a stick there! Get away!"
People don't respect stick players, but I think potentially
there are people who play sticks and they've managed to get to rank X just fine.
Yeah, and there's people who've played sticks who managed to place really well in tournaments. I can think of a couple off the top of my head. Mainly Mullen is an American player who does really well with the Brella with sticks. So we're looking at the maps now. I'm gonna give you some more stuff to talk. I'm gonna quiz you more about maps now. Okay, so you're gonna have to know information. There's a Rainmaker.
Of course, I can see first game will be Rainmaker in Camp Triggerfish, and that
Opinions on Triggerfish.
Yes.
What do you think about that map? What do you think?
It's quite an odd map because it's quite obviously there's area of water, so there's obvious danger of falling in and taking a drink. But also, but it can also help out in terms of if they get a slightly at the beginning, you could just drop it in and just get a reset back to
Yeah, it is easy to reset Rainmakers and get people off tower because that tower just goes over the path. But we'll be seeing Rainmakers, so Rainmaker is the one we talk about. I can't go off topic here. This is me. What do you think about the split? How the whole map is separated in two. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, so there are two options. So either go straight through, but that's obviously a double-edged sword because even if you wipe them, they'll be there waiting for you right at the spawn.
You got to go all the way back around to get around to their side to make that push. There is a connector in the middle on Rainmaker, but it's still a separated map on that thing. So flanks are quite common. Do you flank a lot on this map, ELERIOUS?
Well, I'm usually on the backliner, but if I am end zap, then I would try to get around into flank around some areas if there's an opportunity there. But
we'll see. We'll see if any of that happens in this match.
I've only just noticed the changing of the Uwu's name, just getting hyphens on top of it.
Yeah, I was seeing that too. I'm just trying to ignore it. I just don't want to. I don't want to give Lean the satisfaction of knowing that we're paying attention to what he's doing to the scenery here while we're looking at the maps and talking about them. So, Camp Triggerfish. I'm going to talk more about Camp Triggerfish. I'm going to go on the history of Camp Triggerfish. It was in the first game.
Yes.
Nobody liked it in the first game.
No.
Nobody liked Camp Triggerfish in the first game. And
Splat Zones was probably the only viable.
Yeah, and still, it was dominated by the E-liter, which some people enjoy.
If you were playing E-liter, but if your opposition team had a good E-liter, then obviously you're screwed for the rest.
You're screwed.
Of the game.
You're not getting in because of that wall on your side of the map. An E-liter can just sit there and have full range of motion.
Yes.
This game though, we don't have that as much in this game. We don't have that problem.
And there's now we have the pipes. Not the pipes. I can't remember the name, but you can get around to the side.
The inclines. The inclines. That's the one you're looking for. The pipes works too. The inclines you can use to navigate.
My mind, I was just like, oh god, what is that again?
But you can use the inclines to navigate the map. One of the few maps that actually has them in them has inclines in it, which mostly just a single player object that you see. I'm interested in tactics now. I'm gonna keep quizzing you. I'm gonna keep up this quizzing until we get into the match because you're my new guinea pig to ask questions to.
Yes.
I'm sorry about that, but this is
until I get dragged out.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm doing. This is why I'm here. So sorry for this, but I'm just gonna have to keep doing it.
No, you are fine. This is my fault for deciding to study at a university. So
so I'm gonna talk about comps now. I'm gonna bring you up on the comps. We mentioned the E-liter. We mentioned the fact that E-liter is not as common anymore. So what do you think? What do you expect coming out from both sides here?
Definitely against the social machine.
Yeah,
obviously, very strong weapon. Very strong
safe
weapon.
Bet. That's a very safe bet, isn't it?
It's a very
It's strong. It's a strong weapon. What else do you think? It's the meta, but you can't complain because it's a strong weapon with purpose. It's not that cheap. But what about other weapons? Like backlines, maybe?
Oh, backlines. Well, could see. Ooh, oh no,
We're gonna go into the match. We'll go into the match. We'll talk about it afterwards, and we'll see
talk
what we
about
did.
that afterwards. Yeah,
Talk about it afterwards.
Could
We'll get
see
to have a look at the
some
comp.
long range splatlins, maybe ball point,
yeah.
mobile ball
Hydra.
point.
So,
Hydra. Oh, umbrella.
as we're
Okay.
talking-
Hey, there's the splatling.
So there's a splatting, splatting coming out from luggage on the side of Blooper Inc.
Yes.
and scope on the side of Uwu.
And already Blooper Inc. have popped the Rainmaker, so now it's just constant firewall there, just constant ink flying everywhere, trying to make sure not to get hit by anyone. Looks like CJ's been taken down.
That charger holding that mid for them right now, really making Blooper Inc. work for any positioning that they get, and they're going to try and start a push here.
Yeah, snipes with the Rainmaker. Ooh, sadly, luggage, I think, got sadly taken down. And,
yeah, which is they're still managing to keep the push going there. The Stingray putting on pressure, but not really taking out Snipes, and the push does make its way past the halfway mark.
Oh, but Baggage try now using the range of his splatling. Oh, but it's just all going.
He's walking all the way. The bomb, incredible bomb, taking out the Rainmaker right at the podium. So that was an incredible first push by Uwu, even if I don't like saying their name. They did a really good job.
Already drop in the water, resetting the Rainmaker. So
yeah,
Snipes,
as we mentioned. So
Kiwi.
Uwu coming back with the control, seeing what they can do.
Yeah,
seeing what they can.
Scope trying to grab any quick kills, but not seem to be right now.
Oh, as you say
that I spoke too soon.
They're taking out a beautiful snipe from Kimmy, taking out luggage on the wall. The blaster as well, taking out the Tensitech there. So
Yes.
the control is still kind of swaying in the favor of Uwu at the moment, and really Blooper Inc. need to find an opportunity, and I think they might have one. They did just take out the Brella, so we'll see what happens here.
So they lost their front lineup, but there goes Baggage right in with the baller. This could be their possibility to push, and there they go. I believe they might be taking the side. Oh
Yeah.
no, I am wrong. They've taken the midway. They've taken the midway
They
right
took the
into their
midway.
base.
Baggage owning that middle area, unfortunately gets taken down by the Brella, but it's a good opening push, really. They've still kind of got that control in the lane. Snipes is kind of fighting here with the torpedoes to get back in, and we know how strong torpedoes are. Redware's seeing that.
Yeah.
Can't really get anything going.
Oh, sadly, not quick enough to take out the Brella there. But Baggage, the man, he tries to run with it, but no.
I think it was worth it. He bought a little bit of extra time for his team, and they still have to pop it and jump off the map if they obviously choose to go that route.
They still need at least 25 points to take that lead.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's such a strong push coming out from Uwu at the start. It kind of went their way, and they really did play well. Inkjet, they're trying to fish for kills, really, here. Trying to get something going.
CJ with the Sasha not just
Say no.
managed.
He says no.
CJ just says no.
Says no, and it gets stopped. Although CJ does get taken down by the blaster. So we'll see what happens here. We'll see what happens next. We'll see how this progresses into the next.
All right, another attempt on the side route. So far, Redware's is a bit too far away with the Inkjet there, but double Stingray trying to trick each other out.
The Stingray, the Stingray on the side of Blooper Inc. did get taken out there in that Stingray duel, so the Rainmaker is open to use those gratings to move up. CJ pushed him forward, does get taken down. It's looking pretty rough now for Redware's and Luggage. They need to stop this whole team from going up the ramp. Luggage doing a great job at pushing them back, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. CJ's the only one left in. He's going to have to push. He does take one up, but he gets taken down.
I think that might be it. No! Again, the bomb! The road bomb!
Redware's coming out again with an incredible bomb save at that final hour. Taking out the Rainmaker. Kimmy tries to pick it back up again, and that seems like a wipe. That's gone for them. That's it. That's the push.
Yeah, that's it. No, this is probably their final chance. Like with a minute to go, they really have to push their way through the mid, and either to the side or the mid if they have the opportunity to take out the majority of the team. But as I spoke too soon, they managed to stop the Rainmaker from pushing further.
2 down, and Blueprint really need to push their way in here. They need to really get that hold going. Redbirds needs to maybe take a pick or two. At this point, it might take a double wipe, or at least something of that variety, to make that push forward and to get that lead. The Inkjet coming out on Redbirds, pressuring him. He does seem to get away, but maybe not lasting for long. They do pick up the Rainmaker.
Or just managed to take out before the Inkjet, but sadly that torpedo might have been the finishing blow.
Yeah, 15 seconds remaining, and Blueprint really need to find a way in here. They're just moving too slow. The Stingray to put that control on, they're gonna have to rush in and grab that Rainmaker. 5 seconds left. They do get a pick. Torpedo to stop them, and it's looking like it.
Yep.
So, more questions. What did you think about that match? Well,
it was very tough for Blueprint Inc., especially with Uwu getting that straight in right down to 97 at the very start, so it was definitely a hard climb for Blooper.
Yeah, that first pick by Kimmy, I believe, kind of opened the door for them there. It was really well done, using that charger to really great effect, and the KD's kind of reflecting that at the end of the day. It looked like they weren't bad in any way. It just looked like Uwu had been getting more picks and stopping more attempts there, and it was all just an uphill battle for Blueprint.
Yep.
So,
questions.
More questions. I'm back on it. So, we saw the backlines. We saw the splat scope. I was talking about just then the splatter scope and the heavy. Now, obviously, in that case, the splat scope was the preferred choice. Maybe Kimmy's skill really showing through, managing to get those picks. What was your thoughts? What was your thoughts on the heavy pick?
Do you think? Heavy splatling?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good choice for trying to get into the enemy from a distance without having to go too far in. But sometimes it's just you got to be at the right place at the right time, especially if they're climbing up the grates. So you got to be in the right area of when the gap is to.
I feel like we saw more too often that the heavy was out of position when it came to those pushes, and maybe we didn't see it, but potentially Uwu was stemming the heavy's ability to get forward, really, or get backwards, in fact, and jump out. So maybe we'll see something different. We're going right into the next game. I didn't have enough time to question you. It's a hop back.
No time. And there it is. Ken's the machine coming in from baggage there.
Yeah, and both sides actually. So both sides.
And there is a change in with Kensa as well. So we've got 2 Kensas at least, and already there's crossfires in between the humps.
It looks like one for each. Both slush machines down now.
Yeah, so Red Wes of the T-Tech trying to get a quick kill with the bombs. Oh, just managed to trade with the custom blaster.
That was a good shot by the custom blaster, in my opinion. That was really well done. It's the CGS. Luggage bringing out the CGS.
There we go. There you go. It's time for more CGS bias with your good old neighbor Dragonuto.
I was actually going to criticize it, which is rare for me. I don't consider the CGS a good weapon for this map because of the angles and the humps. So maybe we'll see some good play coming out from Luggage with it. But at the moment.
Yeah, as we're talking, Blue Pink already have a 12-point lead, and they are pushing now into the first checkpoint, which they are seamlessly flying through, no problems. And already Red Bears and CJ are in their base.
So
trying to pick out any new
kills, maybe we're thinking here because on that first map, Camp Triggerfish, everybody's pretty separated and it relies a lot on that back line, and Red Wes didn't have many opportunities to get in, but we're seeing him now in the enemy base doing so much work for Blooper Inc. at the moment, and it's just going so much better, and TC is just flying by. They're
already a 3rd checkpoint, and CJ now but the backup, but of course Kensa now.
Yeah.
Taken out. Oh, but
they get the final checkpoint. They bring it down below the 10-point mark. And they're probably gonna have to back off here. The pressure coming in from Uwu is dangerous. Luggage jumping out to preserve the Stingray, and Redware's holding that mid. I'm talking, and the Stingrays are going off, and the map is progressing really fast here. This game is going so quick.
Yes, indeed. And already now, and they're pushing more in. Redvez again with the Inkjet trying to take down the Ken's Umbrella, but sadly with the Ken's Umbrella, it's a very strong weapon for frontliner.
As we're talking, they pushed the tower to 2. They nearly get it. They nearly get it in.
We can never keep up. We can never keep up at this point.
Keep up. Incredible. The bomb coming out, that was a beautiful shot with Luggage hitting in midair. Snipe's trying to push in just to get that pressure back. So we're seeing the exact opposite of the last game here. It's the early lead for Blooper Inc. and it's now just an uphill climb for Uwu. And they're getting in at the moment, but getting taken down too early on in the push, and the Stingray's coming out to stop that tower from Blooper Inc. Well, maybe we'll be seeing it go into game 3 here with only 2 minutes left on the clock.
Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Uwu might take a surprise comeback in the last 2 minutes.
I would hope so. That'd be a very fun thing to watch.
Sadly, Snipes got surrounded by both Baggage and Red Wes, and now Uwu's is having trouble now trying to escape from Red Wes and the Inkjet.
Red Wes is really putting that pressure on that mid section, and it's really putting too much on Uwu's plate here. They're getting pushed back. The torpedoes are kind of helping them with that mid control, but it's not enough in this case. Snipes taking out Red Wes though, so could spell the end of maybe a potential push here for Inc.
Yeah, so just under a minute and a half to go now, and seems like Bastard decided to. No,
he's done. He's out.
Just having second thoughts about that. So
he doesn't want to take the chance, I think.
No. Yeah. So now another Stingray coming from Luggage, and Kimmy with the Stingray managed to take it out Red Wes. 1 minute to go, and getting that armor in, trying to get that push in. It's only now a matter of whether they can be able to flank into Blooper Inc. space and get as many points as they can.
Get that epic win.
Get that win by 1 point.
Which would be a pretty cool win to have. They're struggling around the tower a little bit. Blooper Inc. doing quite a good job of holding them at the hump at the moment. Or one of the many humps, in fact. We see Janna here, the Blaster, using that inkjet to try and pressure CJ off of the close mid. Unfortunately, the jump camped out, and they do manage to get it to the second to last checkpoint. So they're making progress.
Yeah, they are. Oh, but I think that might be it.
Yeah, spoke too soon, really, to be honest. The team is already gone.
Yeah, Luggage with a Stingray ready in case they manage to do a last-second overtime, but nope.
Just in case, pulls it out. That's what we do. That's why we call it the GG ray.
That's the best thing they could do. just get that extra special point.
Yeah, get that extra special point. But it's called the GG ray for a reason. It ends games on tower control and Rainmaker because it just takes you out so fast that you can't really think. And it's done and gone. So we're seeing quite a commanding game by Blooper Inc. there.
Yes.
Very different from the first game. So
completely different turnaround. Very nice.
I would pin it on the CGS. I'd say the CGS was the main reason there. But actually, no, really, genuinely, that was a really good game from Blooper Inc. They kind of pulled themselves together.
Yeah, definitely. Good teamwork from both.
So I think we need to move on to the next map as quick as we can because they're going to start fast. They're going to start
with ours. So Wahoo World, Clams, and I've never been a fan of Clams. So...
No? Okay. So, but why? What's wrong with the game mode to you? What do you think?
I just, it's just trying to get your tactics right. Like, because obviously you would designate someone be the Clam collector, people be the flankers, getting the kills, and want to be harvesting the specials. So the specials that would be perfect for Clan Blitz. So I would say missiles, armor.
Missiles. That's an interesting one you put on there. What's your opinion on missiles then? Do you think they're getting better?
It could help with the push, especially if they're trying to defend. So like a backliner, for example, could charge up that special ready. So when they're about to push, they'll start targeting using the missiles. So it drives them away.
See, I've always never been a fan of missiles, and I think most of the community would agree with me there in saying that they're just not that strong, they're not that powerful. But I can see on a map like Mako, on a mode like Clams, not Mako, on a Wahoo, not Mako, on a map like Wahoo, on a mode like Clams.
You're getting teams mixed up now.
Oh, man. So, wow, okay. But we'll see. We were right in saying that they were going to start soon, and no waiting about.
No waiting about.
Final match here of round 3, Uwu versus Blooper Inc. on Wahoo World Clan Blitz. No comp changes, I believe.
No, you are. Yeah, you are correct.
No, wait,
Oh wait,
no,
Forge.
no, no. There's a
Forge.
Forge Pro. There's a
Yeah, Kens has changed to Kensa machines now. Forge Pro.
So we've been seeing more pros. We were mentioning it earlier because of the Booyah Bomb. The Kensa Pro has been very evident, and this is not the
Yeah,
Kensa
but-
Pro. This is what I'm thinking. I was just thought. Do you think maybe this was a decision based on previous experiences in playing the Kensa recently?
Maybe, I'm not sure, but surprising there hasn't been that many Booyah bombs besides the first round.
Yeah, there's not been really any Booyah Bombs, especially with the buff that they recently got. We were mentioning it in the first round how
I already actually jump and
Yeah,
possibly
no, this is
second. There we
two.
go. First one. And
where did that second one go?
where did that second one go? Yeah, I was about to ask, but yeah, already there's a wipe.
Oh, I see it. It's despawning underneath the basket, so they did manage to miss the second one.
Ah, right.
As we're talking, Blooper Inc.
Okay.
making the push.
Yeah, baggage with the fizzy bomb, just trying to get some distraction. Oh, and already he's found his
Manages
first
to take
victim.
out one. Yeah, he's getting into position for the jumps at the moment. He's bringing them in. They've got the clan balls. They're looking to start this and start a really big lead deficit
And
here.
already 40-point lead. Oh, trying to get that 60, trying to get that extra 20, but right now
No.
Blaster is sending his sights on the, and that is it.
Yeah, that's the end of that
Sadly.
push, unfortunately. But it was a good push. It was well organized.
Yeah, but
flank was
definitely
brilliant.
it's just a shame that extra 20 points could have been there and they just sadly misaimed.
Yeah, but that's funny. Both teams did that, so it's a common thing to happen. So we no harm, no foul. We'll see more. We'll see more play. So the Stingray coming out really to put the pressure on the clam carrier, just to really drop that clam. That's what they want.
That was that would be my first thing. If Ray comes out, I'd be like, right, nope.
You want to drop it. You want to not be holding that because they're going to target you. It's a great way to stop you.
Kimi
stop you
trying to
from getting-
push, but sadly he was 2-1.
Yeah, cut short by baggage.
Oh, a very nice
Kill.
takedown on Slosher. Actually, I thought that was the Forge.
No, taking out the baller just before it pops actually. So that was quite well played. Baggage being able to get another clam ball. 27 on the side.
Surprising jet out of nowhere.
I'm talking and they're doing stuff. They're talking and doing stuff. They're really bringing it out. They're coming in with these surprising plays. That's a despawn there. Still 20 clams on either side of the board. 24 now. So there is a lot of clams in play.
Definitely.
And they do manage to get the
Kimi
jump.
manages to jump in and push.
Yeah, that's points. That's points. They don't have any. They keep missing the clams. Unfortunately, they managed to get the lead.
Yep, because of I think it was the Forge Pro who was hiding on that platform there. Was able to get a good
picks and good kills. We were talking about it earlier. I was talking about it earlier with EMIL. How unfortunately in Clan Blitz and the nature of the game, pushes usually mean the death for a team, and how Anxiety managed to pull off an incredible play where they just didn't die. They just didn't die at all. We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this. They just got 2 balls.
A lovely double. A lovely double clam.
Unfortunately, that just leaves Britt alone here. So he's kind of stuck against the whole team. He wants to be doing damage. He wants to be holding them off, but he's just one man against an army here.
Yeah,
Baggage. No, Baggage, in fact, not Britt. Baggage doing his... Baggage waiting for managing to hold them off for his team to come back. And that central point, although it is falling to Uwu, they're getting the picks and they're keeping them back.
Yeah, so currently now Kimi with the super clam there. Meanwhile, there is another clam that could be in play, but
Looks like it's despawning, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Kimi making the jump, however, manages to delete that deficit. Snipes getting that positioning for them with the baller. It's not looking like it's going to mean anything more. It kind of just means a free clam for Blooper Inc. here. But that deficit going down, just those 10 more points is very good for them and could score, being potentially a good push coming out for them in the future. The Stingray coming out to stop those clam balls from being in play, really. Baggage kind of doing a good job at avoiding, however, unfortunately, it doesn't happen for his teammate. He's going to have to juggle the clams until he has a friend to come on. Redwez does. Throws it up, misses people, but I don't think that's... Yeah, they managed to pick that one up too. So it's looking pretty strong for Blooper Inc. at the moment.
Right now, there is one Uwu clam in play. It's just depending on who is carrying it and where.
Who-woo.
And they're gonna make that push, and I think they
Manages
just about
to
got
get it.
it.
Incredible. That was the farthest I've seen a clam thrown. Well done on the side of there. Manages to take the lead. However, does leave. This doesn't look good for the team. Blooper Inc. coming in, managing to get one clam into the basket. They need those final clams. They need one more clam to get it in.
Yeah, they just need one more clam if they can find one.
Gets the jump.
Can
Is
they
he
get
gonna-
it?
It's
No,
not
he
enough.
cannot.
It's not enough. And Uwu take the match by 1 point on Wahoo World in the final game. Incredible. That was a sneaky play by Snipes and Kimmy to get that final clam. Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't them. It was the Japanese characters that I can't pronounce managing to get that final clam in. Sneaking past the whole team to get his team that win. I'd pat on the back.
What an MVP there, right there.
Yeah, that's a moment. And whether I like it or not, Uwu beating Blooper Inc. Upset? Yes.
Yeah, big upset. I am really
upset.
surprised.
Yeah, that wasn't what we were expecting. I was quite on the side of Blooper Inc. taking that, especially with the names behind them. Matches on the board. So let's have a look and see what other teams have been doing. We got
Right. Yeah, Mercury again with 2-0 against Downpour.
the usual suspects coming out. Polar Ace with the 2-0 on
Yeah.
Anxiety Sirens. Asic also making a good approach there with another 2-0. So the top 2 seeds are kind of holding there, and Energetic was still waiting for that final score on. Upsets. Where's the upsets? I'm just looking. Just an update on Typhoon as well. It seems that they did lose again, so now they're down 2-1, 1-2 in fact. After that really incredible first round. I don't see any. Oh, I'm speaking and I'm forgetting about our stars right now. So we haven't watched a match of theirs yet, and I think we should in the future, maybe next round. But Gaku or Gaguka, they've not lost the game yet, and they aren't very highly seeded in this, and they've managed to take out higher and higher seeds every round. 2-0, 2-0, 2-0.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's insane. In this here final seed scraper. We're saying some incredible play coming out of a Gaguka or whatever their name may be said like. Waiting on the final matches to come in. The round deadline is 11 seconds, which is let's just say those teams need to get their results in now.
Yep, they are supposed to be dead now, according to the.
They're supposed to be dead. They're supposed to be dead. Lena's put down the message. It's the end of the world.
Oh God!
Oh no! Half the teams they've perished.
Apologies for that earlier, but I have to go. So
I can talk. I can take it on my own for a little bit.
Are you sure? Because
yes. Don't worry. I'll be fine.
This has just come up unprecedented. I am so sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. It's fine. Enjoy your time. So thank you for being here, ELERIOUS.
Thank you for inviting me to this. Thank you to the staff of Seascraper for inviting me on as well. So big apologies, but enjoy the rest of Seascraper and good luck to everybody else.
So we've got quite a few.
Good nights.
Oh, good night, ELERIOUS. Good night. Enjoy your night.
I'll try. All right. Good night.
So it's just me now. Unfortunately, you're stuck with me. I'm just gonna have to talk you off for a little while here while we while the matches progress. So, as I was saying, we were talking about it earlier with EMIL, the L Firmament line of teams: L Zephyr, L Firmament themselves, L Eclipse. L Eclipse losing in this round against Lemuria, which is the way it's supposed to be seeded at the moment. But they did manage to pick up one game off them, which is quite good. L Arctic taking out Team S4. Unfortunately, not unfortunately, El Zephyr taking out Reboot as well, so that's good for them. They didn't have a great round 2, so that's good for them to come back out and show themselves a bit more. Other teams that we've been looking at, we've been seeing Inkalfa losing to Aquila, which again also something that is seeding has been done. I believe EMIL knows what he's talking about when it comes to that sort of thing. Chemistry taking out Not Separation, Energetic losing the game to Astrum Argentum. That's an incredible name. Managing to lose a game to them, which not expected, but maybe that means that good things are going to be coming out of Astrum Argentum in the future. Maybe they might be able to make an upset in this tournament later on. We'll find out as it goes along. We're just waiting on one more match, I believe, to be updated, which could be a tie, could be a win. We don't know yet, which is Resurgence versus Element Suzuki. Element Suzuki, I believe, took a game off of a higher seed last round. I can't remember who against. So maybe taking out Resurgence, who are supposed to be better. In this way that this tournament is seeded. I I'm talking to myself here. I'm going to ask myself questions. Who do I think is going to win? It's going to be Polar Ace. That's my brain. That's what I'm thinking. But I don't want to miss stuff coming out from Lemuria and Energetic. Energetic, I talked about earlier. I think that they have a lot of really strong players. They're new. They're quite a new team. So seeing them come forward and push themselves into this role of maybe potentially taking over as one of the top 8 teams, maybe top 10 teams on the circuit at the moment. So when they manage to establish themselves potentially in this Sea Scraper match, we will see Sea Scraper tournament. In fact, we will see them kind of rise to the top and get some more recognition. So I guess while I'm here, I can shill Sea Scraper a little bit. So what they really want out of this tournament for the winning teams this evening, this night, this day, this morning, whatever it is for you, there is a donation, a PayPal that you can get to, and you can give money to the organizers here, so that art prizes can be given out to the winners and first place and second place, or maybe potentially third place, depending on the amount of money that goes on. I'm not forcing you to do it. I'm not telling you that you have to. But in this case, it would be nice to get a prize for those teams and those people who have spent their night here, providing us all with some incredible entertainment. While we're waiting on this final match as well, I guess I will plug myself a little bit. I'm Dragonuto. I'm here to guide you through today. I was with ELERIOUS and I was with EMIL, who are also very strong players and commentators. Unfortunately, ELERIOUS had to leave early, but we did get a good match, a good set to watch together. I'm a player. I'm not that fun. I'm kind of interesting. I'd tell you more about myself, but it get a bit weird. So, well, let's focus on the matches. Back on the matches. What we just witnessed for all the people who are coming here and haven't seen the matches yet. We just finished watching a match between Blooper Inc. and the team Uwu, who it was a close match. It was down to the last point. It was an incredible game on Wahoo World where Uwu managed to take out Blooper Inc. by 1 point. And honestly, it could have gone either way. Both teams were playing really well. The games they took were strangely commanding. So Uwu managed to take a 3-point lead in the first match instantaneously. And then Blooper Inc. in almost like magic in the next match took them out in form within a very small amount of time. I just noticed that Alice did give them extra time, as was said on the screen, but they are supposed to be dead now. So potentially Resurgence and Element Suki are going to be at a tie. So we'll be moving on to round 4 of Sea Scraper, final wave, very shortly. I hope you stay with me. I hope you stay with me during this. And continue to enjoy this stream with me and all these incredible matches that we will be watching. I'm going to go now for a little bit. Lean's going to take me off mic. So I hope to see you in a bit.
Yeah, due to a popular request from Dragonuto, I will change the screen to the waiting screen, and we will be back in hopefully 1 minute when the other team joins. The next match we will see will be S4 versus whoever they will play for request by Alice. And yeah, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, our Twitter and whatever, and subscribe to Dragonuto. And yeah, see you in a bit.
dry talking so much.
And we are back with Sleeping with Dragonuto, as you have just heard.
Sleeping with Dragonuto, yeah, I'm yawning, I'm tired, I've done so much. I just went and got a glass of water, so that's sorry for that little break there. I'm with Lean now. Lean's gonna be doing commentary with me. He's my man on the camera here. Running it behind the scenes. So the man for everything. He does it all. He's incredible. We're gonna be going to the Reef. I believe that's Splatzones.
Yes.
Do you want me to ask you some questions about that, or are we just gonna want me to chill mag away? Do you think?
I currently focus on getting the teams in my lobby.
Okay, all right. I'll talk about this sort of stuff. We'll let Lean do his job. So Splatzone's on the Reef. The Reef has had some changes to it. Originally, I believe it was like the map is a new map in Splatoon 2. Oh well, not new anymore. It's been 2 years, but a new map in Splatoon 2, and it's gone through a couple of changes. It's widely regarded as sort of like the most bog standard map that there is. It's so basic that there's not really much that it does wrong. In my opinion, the Splat Zone is underneath a bridge, which means that stuff like rain won't rain on top of the zone. So it's typical pushes that maybe a board point player would make, where they just throw that rain on and just hope that it neutralizes, aren't as possible. However, with that bridge, it does open opportunities for performing maneuvers like dropping a baller from a bridge onto the zone and taking it. And recently, as I'm talking about this, they've split the zones into two. So I believe half of the zone is covered by the bridge and half of it isn't. So you can neutralize with the rain. Completely disregard what I said before, obviously. But they split the zone into two, I believe, in an attempt to sort of even up the map. Because as soon as you have... the zone was quite large from before. And so taking that zone required basically full control of the map at that point. So it originally led to a lot of full 0 to 100 knockouts on maps that maybe should have been a closer game in general. So that two zone change was a recent and potentially important change that really shook up the map's Splat Zone's viability, I guess. The bridge is always been that central bridge that is a key point of the map. Has always been you want it in the start of the game. So at the start of the game, you're going to make that push for that bridge because you want that control, because that gives you access to the enemy team's platform and their plat. And if you get through there, you can attack from any angle you want. And if you own that bridge, then you basically own the zones. So the bridge is always a hotly contested point, and we will be seeing that in this match. We'll be seeing that bridge being fought over tooth and nail. They'll be going at each other's throats. And hopefully we'll be seeing that come out. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the teams. So Team S4, they disbanded not long before this tournament, but they decided that just for this last one, they're going to come back together and show us what they've got. They're a very good team. Potentially there were issues there. We might see them surface in the tournament. We don't know yet. But teams disband for a reason. But they came back together, so obviously they're not in the worst of terms. So potentially they could be showing us something special. I believe one of their team members as well. He's done some quite funny stuff in the past. He's joined the tournament as one person playing a squiffer called One Man Army and taking kills, and that was on the Reef as well. I believe I watched a clip that went onto Twitter of him taking out a couple team members by himself and neutralizing the zone with a squiffer, which I think Lean would be quite impressed with considering his squiffer proficiency.
Nah, I would have won.
You would have won. Okay. He's one person against four. You can't expect him to... But yeah, it's good play. But hopefully we'll be seeing more out of them. Resurgence, I don't know too much about that team. So that's the team that Team S4 are going to be fighting. Resurgence are, to me,
Frenchies.
new.
Yeah, Frenchies.
Okay. More Frenchies. Okay, so we were saying it earlier with Typhoon. The French are huge on this. They love it. We have such a huge French presence in this community, and they're incredible players. So you got the likes of Gray on Team KP and Urza and Soren on Team Ghost. And both, like all of these players, that they're all French and they're always on the top of their game. And they have their own league, which is run by Esports Bros TV. It's you kind of get a gauge for these teams, and sometimes they decide they want to play tournaments outside of the national level, which was why we're seeing Typhoon here today, and potentially why we're seeing Resurgence. I'm not too sure on that one. So I'm hoping we can see something good coming out here from them, and maybe an upset against Team S4, who are slated to win this match. So we'll see when it comes down to it.
Yeah, everyone is in the lobby now, so I can start the match now. I should
Awesome.
probably also take a look at the standing. Yeah, let me take a quick look at the standings to see how many matches each of them won so far.
As we can see how important this game is towards their final score. So this is a Swiss-style bracket, which means every team plays 6 rounds, and you get a final group score at the end, and only the top cut will go through to the bracket stage. And how well you do in that round is going to affect your seeding.
Team S4 is 1 win, 2 loses, and Resurgence is 1 win, 1 lose, and 1 tie.
I see. So they did get that tie for that final game that they spent not doing much, unfortunately for them. So this seems it's quite important then for Team S4. They want this win because this is going to put them at 3-1 if they manage to get it, which is pretty slated towards them. When it could mean a greater chance of them managing to get through to that top cut of the bracket. And Resurgence will want this win to not have a score of 1-1-1 or to go negative on the lose-win ratio here. So we'll be starting the match shortly. We'll be seeing these teams come through.
The one-man army still needs to pick his weapon, and
it's going to be the Squiffer.
Probably not.
You don't know that yet. So we'll be seeing that come through very shortly. Very loud because I left my door open. So,
yeah, just close your door.
Now I'm back
Remove
and I'm
all the
ready.
people.
Sorry, say that one again. I missed it because I'm silly.
Alright,
Never mind.
we can
We're starting.
finally start.
So the Reef Splat Zones with Team S4 and Resurgence. Not so standard comp coming out from both teams actually. So a standard roller on the side of Resurgence, as well as a Forge Pro, and also a Forge Pro on the side of Team S4. So that's quite funny. As I was saying earlier about this bridge control, you're going to see them fighting for that control over the bridge.
Yeah, definitely. I also thought they will have more ballers, but like, I think there's one baller from both teams.
Yeah, and the whole game is just the Kensas. Which, as I was saying, ballers are really strong on this map because once you get on bridge, you can drop down. And
yeah, like this.
Yeah, like that, exactly like that. 3 down now on the side of Resurgence. It's looking quite in the favor of S4. Even though Resurgence were the ones with the zone, it's quite obvious that that bridge control has fallen into S4's hands, and you're not going to really see that Dynamo move much anywhere aside from that bridge.
Yeah, exactly.
He can hold it. We're going to see the 2 going down on the side of Resurgence for the 1 of the time of Team S4. And Andrew's coming in here just to take out that roller who was putting pressure on the zone. Manages to take out 2. Incredible play with the splashdown and the fizzy bomb coming into effect.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really curious to see how Resurgence will get back here. They really need their specials to come back, and for now it really looks like they are just feeding.
Yeah, they just keep running in.
Yeah, we see the roller on the... What the fuck happened? Stupid. Oh, one disconnected.
Oh, no.
That happened.
That's unfortunate. So we've had a disconnect on the Oct shot, which is the way the rules work here. If it gets below a certain threshold, or are we going to be good for a replay?
I'm pretty sure that 20 points does not make them illegal for a replay, but I'm not a TO, I'm just one of the people who cast this.
So we'll probably be hearing about that very shortly from the help desk updates. We'll be getting help desk updates, and the match will just be knocked out. I'm pretty sure that Resurgence knew that wasn't going to change for them. However, honestly, I don't think that match would have gone any differently because Team S4 were really strong coming out of that gate, and they really did put a lot of pressure on the side of Resurgence.
Okay, Alice just confirmed that there's no replay for this match.
Stabber's Team S4 1 up with a very dominant display, even with a disconnect. So weird comps, Lee. They weren't exactly the most standard comps at all.
Yeah, we don't talk bad about comps anymore like last time. So
oh yeah, we can talk.
We do better this time. So not trash talking in Inkbrush or whatever, but being more.
No trash talking. No trash talking, more positive thinking. When we're considering these compositions, they were weird, and they worked because obviously they worked because Team S4 was running a weird comp. They were running a Dynamo with a Forge Pro, so that's a lot of paint coming out of the Dynamo and bubbles from the Forge. And
Exactly.
I was mentioning it. Go on.
And I also think the Dynamo can pop the bubbles pretty fast as well.
Oh yeah, especially with something like Object Shredder, it just kind of knocks straight through those bubbles and takes zone. I mean, we didn't see it much there. I believe they did use it once, which got them a double on the plat. But other than that, it was a vicious display, a vicious display from Team S4, commanding game.
Yeah, so we're still waiting for the person to join, but yeah, next up is ELERIOUS Rainmaker.
So another returning map. It's another returning map from the first game, Walleye is, and it underwent some seemingly heavy changes to the length, I believe. If I'm remembering correctly, they increased the length of the map.
I don't remember the Splatoon 1 map at all at this point.
Yeah, but it wasn't too much different as well. So I think they added cover options here, and they changed up the gratings and the way that the sort of map, the map size. But like as a map, as a Rainmaker map, it's really linear. So you'll get big points very fast if you manage to get a wipe. Like it's almost a guaranteed push to 40. It could be a push to 13. It could be all the way to the end.
Yeah, but it's also pretty hard to get past this point. Like you have a ramp where you can't swim, and you have to walk on it, or you take the ramp on the left side, which is a bit longer, but you can swim in it, so you're a bit faster. But at the same time, they are so narrow that you will most likely die when there's one person watching.
Yeah, so there's a narrow corridor on that left side, which there's sort of 3 pushing options here. You can go up the top right of the map, through the grating, and over the top. But that's incredibly slow and incredibly easy to predict. There's the slick, which is going up the main route, which is the quickest, but also the most dangerous because everybody knows you're going to go there, and the whole team will be there. So it's only really good for bomb pushes or trying to get in a full wipe and going all the way because you need to go quick. But as Lean said, that leftmost corridor is kind of separated from the rest of them. And it doesn't get you very far until you get outside of the corridor. I purposely engineered, obviously, to do such a thing, so you can't just cheese your way up the ramp and get an easy push to 50. The map itself is... Obviously, it was brought back because it was a good map. It was a favorite. Did you enjoy it in the first game, Lean? Were you a fan?
In the first game, I really liked it, at least on split zones. I think tower control was fine. And I hated Rainmaker on most maps. I think the best Rainmaker map in the first game was Hammerhead Bridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna disagree with you there, champ.
It was the most.
Bridge sucked.
It was the most fun map for me. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, but you were a Squiver main. All right.
Yeah,
we're going into the match.
Back then, I had 3 mains of run speed, so.
Oh my god, that's some stacking up. Similarly weird comps, I guess, but they're more standard here. So we've got the Octashot coming out from Resurgence, as well as the H3 and the Roller. And on the side of Team S4, weirdly noting the non-scope charger, where scope variants are currently in vogue at the moment, and the NZAP, which we saw earlier as well. So already we're going to see Lucas pushing up with the curling bombs and the Roller, trying to take that leftmost corridor that we mentioned before. Having a bit of a duel here with the NZAP. As this is happening, half of his team has gone down, and it's kind of opened up for a push. He messes up the curling bomb, unfortunately. Gets taken down. His teammate jumps, but he's out of position. And that push goes all the way up to 15. Incredible push from S4, and that's not a great start for Resurgence. That's not what you want to see at the start.
Yeah, that's really, really bad for them. But yeah, in this game, no matter how good the push is, as long as they don't KO, you can still win somehow.
It's still beatable. It's always still beatable. A flank coming out. Souls misses the shot, unfortunately, but they do manage to take him out. The Rainmaker put in a compromised position here, and the pop going, oh, that's unfortunate. One of the teammates dies to the pop. It's just Souls here, all by himself. He's got his Inkjet and his water bomb. He jumps out. Safe bet. That's what he needed to do. And a push again from S4 with specials and everything. So
yeah, here we see that they need to use a special to get past it, but the Roller is waiting And if the roller had tiny bit better aim, he could KO them in only one flick. And
it would have been a very dirty thing, but I think the positioning there from S4 kind of... Well, let's not slate the roller here.
Exactly.
It was still a good kill. He managed to get them out of that area and push back Team S4 as Resurgence tries to take control back of the center of the map.
So
Using
here you
that
see them
armor-
having an armor and an inkjet ready, and hopefully they can get a few picks. They really need this to push forward. Oh, here we see the
Managed
nice
to get
trade
trade.
with the charger.
Yeah, incredible trade with the charger. The aggression from Team S4 though, pushing into the base of Team Resurgence whilst Team Resurgence are trying to make a push. So not too great there, unfortunately. The roller in a position that cannot stop the Rainmaker. He drops down, manages to get an incredible kill on the Dynamo.
Yeah, this is what I want to see
magical.
from the roller. Exactly, this is what I want to see.
That was magical. So obviously using the fact that the roller has quite a long, big pile of ink that flicks. And a push is coming out now from Team Resurgence. They're trying to get something going. They managed to get it to 46, killed on the slick, unfortunately. Like we mentioned before, a very dangerous place to be pushing. It's looking like Team S4 is going to hold here. Coming back in, looking strong with that 14-point push, but a little bit shaken as Team Resurgence has come back and shown that they can dish out what they can take.
Yeah, here we see the Stingray coming from Phoenix Fox, trying to get a few picks. We also see an armor coming in, and let's see how the map controllers.
So the map is swinging heavily in the favor of S4 right now. Mainly because I think their comp is incredibly painting. They have a Dynamo, a Tensatech, and an NZAP on that frontline, midline mix.
Yeah, they also get their picks. At least the Charger has already 8 picks, and every pick a Charger makes paints tons. So yeah,
Wow.
that's also in their favor.
Yeah, as we're saying, like you can see the KDs at the top of the screen where
Let
the
me disable
roller.
it.
Oh, it's gone now. You can't see the KDs at the top of the screen, but you can now. So it shows you can have this little heads-up display that shows you everything that's going on. Team Resurgence, let's ignore that. Team Resurgence making a push here. They manages to get up the ramp. That's 13. Incredible play. Gets to swim up the side of the wall. Manages to get the lead. And from a map that didn't look... They're even going to extend the lead. Maybe not. Never mind. I spoke too soon. But still, an incredible push out of Resurgence. Managing to claw back from... almost accepted defeat from like half the people watching this potentially, and we can see if they can hold this. I'm kind of speechless. That was an incredible push out of nowhere, really.
Exactly. This is really fascinating, and like I said, no matter how good your push is, you can still come back. Here we can still see S4 taking the lead when they are able to wipe them, but as I say this, they get fully wiped.
Fully wiped on the side of S4. It's looking like the controller swinging in the favor of Resurgence. All they really need to do at this point, with 30 seconds left to go, is hold that central mid and get that paint control. And as you can see, they're kind of neglecting certain spots of the floor to paint. And I don't know if that's going to benefit them in the long run, but that lead, I mean, the confidence they must be feeling at the moment because of that lead that they just managed to get. Bounds of confidence. Bounds.
Yeah, here we also see the map control changed to the favor of Resurgence here. And S4 can't really do anything right now to get back to the Rainmaker.
And that's it. That's the game. Resurgence managing to come back from inevitable defeat with a 14-point lead from S4. So it's bringing it to 1-1. We've got a series on our hands. We've got something going on here. We got something fun to see. Still with the odd comps, the roller at the top there for Resurgence doing a lot of work for them with those pushes and those splashdowns. Big stuff. Big stuff.
Alright, the all deciding match will be on Sturgeon Shipyard Tower Control.
So, I love this map. I also think this map is going to be swayed in the favor of S4, and I'm going to say that because they have a charger. So, we know how strong chargers are. In this meta, in the game, they've always been strong. The Squiffer, maybe not so, but all other chargers, yes.
No, everything with a Stingray is strong. Like,
okay.
Do you remember our European Championship match where we played Rainmaker on this map?
Yes, I do, and I lost because I played my Stingray at the wrong place. So
Yes.
Positioning is everything, is what I think Lean is trying to say here. Is positioning is everything you need to be doing.
Exactly.
If you play a Stingray in a dangerous position, even if you think this is it, this is the end of the match,
It isn't.
It isn't. It can mean the loss of a game and a facepalm. So we're going into this game very quickly, actually. Coming for this final match of this round 4 of the Swiss part of the tournament. Charger coming out again. CGS on the side of Resurgence. You know who I'm voting for. And
yeah, obviously for the Charger.
Yeah, obviously. The Charger getting into that prime position, as you can see on the map. CGS as well. They kind of fight here for that mid dominance. Nobody really going down here. It's looking like sort of a stalemate. As I say that, one goes down on the side of Team S4, and potentially this could be control for Resurgence.
Yeah, here we see Magi trying to get some control, and I think he wanted to start a push, but then 3 of his teammates just died, and he jumps out with the Stingray at a ready, and yeah, this gives S4 the chance to push. But here we see the Stingray coming in, just denying
and the counter ray as
push.
well. The counter ray as well to put that damage on, managing to take out the ray from Team Resurgence, maybe meaning that Team S4 can make a bigger push here. It's not looking possible, maybe not looking too possible for them at the moment. As I say that, manages to pick up 2 Fallen does and gets back on the tower. It's just blasting the CGS left. While the range, he does outrange him. This could mean the checkpoint for S4.
Yeah, 10 seconds left, but here we see a Stingray coming in, denying this progress. And with this, the tower just gets back, and hopefully they can get back on tower before the timer resets. But yeah, the countdown resets.
Phoenix a little bit late. Manages to get
2 people.
2 kills, instant. Incredible play. I didn't really expect it there. I was just about to say it was a bit late on the counter ray, but it seems to have set up his team for a push. They've all pushed in. They've managed to gain some ground into the Team Resurgence's base. That's definitely the checkpoint. But are we going to see something go further here?
The flank was a bit late. If the flank managed to get there 1 second early, then he could have killed the Charger before the checkpoint was passed. And this would be huge for them.
Unfortunate, but it does mean that S4 are going to be able to continue going on the tower. The Stingray now to stop it, but the counter ray coming out to completely stem that ray. It has to ignore the tower because otherwise he's going to die. So it's going to come to that next checkpoint. But the control from Team S4 at the moment is looking quite strong here. It's coming up to that 10-point mark. They managed to stop the tower, but it's just the Jet Squelcher against that Charger, and the tower's going to reset, but it's not looking good for Team Resurgence here, as Team S4 put more pressure on, and it's going to be looking like it's the end of the match, and
yes,
that is it. That's the game. Team S4 with a dominating Game 3 to bring the set to 2-1. Whew. That was some talking.
Yes,
that was a lot of talking.
Incredible.
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant play. Incredible play by Team S4 to capitalize on those rays and to get in and just control. That was it. It was a lockout from that point. We can see the pro there coming at the top of that match. Well done to him. And Booyah Bombs, I mentioned earlier in the stream, but everybody should know this. Booyah Bombs have been coming into fashion recently, haven't they, Lean? They've just skyrocketed in the amount of people that are using them, and you can kind of put that down to something like Ghost Gaming, and that SLB2 dude running the pro more often in their matches. But honestly, it's the buffs.
Ooh. Where's the bracket?
We'll be looking at the bracket now. I believe the matches should be finished very soon, so we'll be seeing a mostly complete round 4, prepping in time and in ready for round 5.
Something break my bracket. Give me a second.
It's alright. With the bracket broken, I'll just talk about what I think's going to happen. I think we're going to see another win from ELERIOUS. I think we're going to see another win from Team Energetic and Team ESEC, and I am completely right. So ELERIOUS taking out the Maria 2-1, Energetic on El Zephyr 2-0, and ESEC taking out Gaguka, who were, as I've been saying before, they were on a 3-0 as of the last round. But now, unfortunately, it's a 3-1 for them against the second seed. They tried their best. They did some good. They've had some good games, and this could still mean the bracket for them. Eclipse taking 2-0 against Possibility. Another upset for them, taking out a higher seed. We're going to see Uwu taking out Not Separation. If we want to, not separate, incredible team name there. El Arctic taking out Mercury with a quite assumed control there. And Suspense, we're going to see them lose to Aurora. So Suspense had an unfortunate match earlier on today against Inklings team, where Inklings team managed to do some really good work and take out Aurora. And as I'm talking about Inklings team managing to beat Anxiety Sirens 2-1. So really showing up today with that gameplay. We saw them earlier as well. They were playing really well. Their team cohesion was on point. So seeing them come through and beat a seed that honestly they should not have beaten, they've done a really good job here to bring it all together. And well, hopefully we'll be seeing some more from them in the bracket stage.
Since we reached the end of bracket stage, do you have any team you would like to see now?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I would like to see more of. I would like to see ELERIOUS honestly play. I've been watching them and talking about them on the rounds and seeing how they've been playing, and like their results have been quite positive mostly. I think they're on 3-1 at the moment. Correct me if I'm wrong, which is great. I mean, the gameplay obviously is working out for them today. They're having a good day. They're having a good night. And maybe it's some practice that they've been putting in after hours, some extra scrims that have kind of pushed them up and elevated them above the rest. Indeed. So, putting Splatoon, I believe, have dropped out. So that's an unfortunate turn of events for them. They had a really cool name. A really cool name. So that's unfortunate. Honestly, I'm interested in all of the top teams, but I think like leaving them until the bracket stage is the best choice here. We can watch them at the bracket stage instead, and you can watch some really high level
we can't
matches.
do all of the... Oh, I would have loved to see Polaris versus Lemuria.
That would have been a good match, actually, wouldn't it? Lemuria, up and coming team as of recent, doing really well for themselves. Polaris taking them out 2-1. I think I mentioned that earlier. Polaris have been kind of dominant in the smaller tournaments recently, so they've been signing up to a lot of tournaments to kind of get them all under their belt. It's sort of the same approach that low-key Splatoon took, but before they were low-key, they'd snap up all these results from smaller tournaments and they'd practice themselves. And when they come to these big tournaments, they'd show up and people wouldn't be expecting it, and they'd come through and they'd just completely decimate the bracket. So it's that sort of dedication that we like to see.
I would like to see a good match. I don't really care much about dedication. I care more about entertainment here.
Well, I mean, the entertainment's important, obviously, but the dedication, you don't get entertainment without teams that have dedicated themselves to working.
Yeah, we see dedication in grand finals anyway.
Yeah, we always see dedication in grand finals. Unless there is a team called Dedication who have not made it to grand finals. That sounds like a team name to me, so...
Dedication was the name of my first montage.
Really? Oh, what's with all the edgy names for montages? I'll tell you that. That's
I don't know.
There's always one words, and they always mean stuff like there's dedication, improvement, prodigy.
Well, next time I just name my montage Super Meme.
Super Meme. I like it. Super Meme being a team that are quite strong, and people sleep on them a little bit.
Yeah, they were invited to an Invitational, which is tomorrow, I think.
Yeah.
And I was really surprised by this, but I guess they earned it.
I think they've earned it. They've done their place. They did quite well in Luti, and they've also had quite sustainable, like quite good results in tournaments. Like they never really win, but they always place well, and they scrim a lot. They're good friends. They're memers, which if you can't quite get from the name of the team, they managed to show up and do loads of work. And honestly, that's good stuff. That's what we want to see. So hopefully we'll get sort of some high placements. I'm interested. I don't know who is ESEC. I have no idea who this team is. They're the second seed, so obviously they're filled with really good players. But
ESEC is Noctis pickup.
So Noctis pickup. Okay, so I assume that would be Noctis, Rob, Calgo, them sorts.
Nah, Rob and Calgo is playing for Energetic.
Oh yeah, I know that because I was the one that was saying how good their roster was. What am I doing with myself? So ESEC, Noctis has been doing a lot of pickups recently, especially in the EU Community Cup and smaller tournaments. The high seed most definitely because of his renown for being a good player. I assume his team is also he's also picked out some incredible players to play with him in this tournament today. So hopefully we'll be seeing more of them later on, as they have had an undefeated run so far. We'll be seeing more of maybe a harder match for them coming next round or the round afterwards, because as Swiss starts to whittle out the higher seeds and puts them in their place within the top cut. What?
Pretty hard to pick one more team. What do you think about Comet?
Comet? I don't know much about them, so I wouldn't be able to talk about them, unfortunately.
Yeah, they're Japanese.
Japanese, are they? Oh, okay. So they've come over. So that's always nice to see Japanese teams coming over into the West and taking an interest in our scene, because if it's evident that the West takes a lot of interest in the scene of JP, or the Eastern scene, because people consider it to be the more advanced scene in this Splatoon group, I guess. I mean, they get a lot of support from Japan, considering they are a Nintendo is based there. And so the Japanese teams usually show up really well and do a lot of good performances at stuff like Rising Squidland and other various invitational events. So, Comet, do you know what their current score is in the Swiss bracket?
3-1.
3-1. So it's quite a positive looking outlook for them. So maybe we'll be seeing them in the bracket and we'll be able to show them off a little bit. Our JP neighbors coming over to enjoy and relish in our rich and vibrant scene filled with all various players and weapons, including brushes and the like. So hopefully we'll be seeing more of them later on in the bracket. Potentially next match, we don't know yet. As soon as Ink Alpha and Chemistry finish their match, we'll know exactly who we'll be watching, because we get to choose.
Yeah, we will watch Comet. I already told them.
Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah.
Never mind. He's already picked. He knew I was going to say that as well, I bet.
And Ink Alpha has 1 more minute to finish their match. If they don't report, it will be tied.
It's unfortunate to see that happen to teams, because potentially it was a really close match. But you must understand from a TO's perspective, and I am a TO as well, so I'm not just here to do commentary. I'm not TOing for this event, but I do know my stuff. If you don't report a score, we're not going to give you the score. So respect to TO's the boundaries they set and the time limits they set, and try and finish your match before that time. And if you do not finish your match before that time, try and give a reason why, because TOs are lenient. They're nice people. We promise we don't bite. We're here to help. We're here to give you a nice, smooth experience. We do this as a voluntary thing. So when you don't talk to us, you only don't benefit yourself, really. You're only going against your own will in this case. So hopefully, I'm not using Ink Alpha as an example. They might actually have a reason to be behind schedule, obviously, but Try and respect your TOs. Say thank you at the end of the tournament. Maybe say thank you to Lean for putting so much effort into this tournament, as well as EMIL, Lavaleaf as well. Oh, this is a perfect segue. While I'm saying give your thanks to all these players, all these TOs, why don't you give a thanks to the players who are playing in this tournament and donate to the PayPal for Seascraper? That PayPal money will go towards an art prize for the winner of the Seascraper final wave. Potentially the second place as well, depending on how much money gets put into the pot. So you can, I believe the command is !donate. I don't know if the bot is working yet. It was broken earlier on, so
yes,
we couldn't show you. It's working now, great. So !donate is what you want to be doing there if you are interested in supporting Seascraper and supporting the scene to help give players the recognition and the prize that they kind of deserve, playing so well and for so long together. So that'll be good.
Yeah, the last match just finished, and we are waiting for the bracket to update.
Okay. So we did get the final score, did we? What was the score between Ink Alpha and Chemistry?
2-1.
2-1 to Ink Alpha?
Yes.
Okay, interesting. So Ink Alpha obviously being the highest seed there. A well-known team, lots of history behind them. I believe they date back to the first game. Yeah, I believe they date back to the first game. Correct me if I'm wrong. So there's a lot of history behind the team and teammates inside of that team. Okay, that's a really weird sentence to say, but I'm just saying all of them are friends and they've known each other for a while. So that's what, like I was saying before, teamwork and playing as a team is incredibly important in Splatoon, and you all know that because you watch this because you love it and you've played yourself. So having friends that you've known for a really long time to play with is always a fun experience because it's never truly upsetting if you lose. Yeah, I would say. So
don't exactly know who Ink Alpha is, but I think Ink Delta was the first one. And then they had tons of new members, and then they made new teams like
Ink Sigma,
Ink Alpha, and so on. And Ink Alpha is the European division with a Canadian backliner.
Oh, fun. And I believe they also have Ink Delta, I think it went Ink Delta, Ink Sigma, Ink. So like it was Ink Delta, then they added new members, and then it was Ink Sigma, Ink Omega, and another one, and then it was there was a lot of teams. Lots of teams had that sort of booming problem where they kind of grew out, and then that's a good thing though because that makes more teams, more friendships, more groups, and it invites more people into our lovely community, which people should really try and get as many people as they can involved in this here wonderful collection of human beings. I sound so cheesy, man. I'm really hamming it up. So we'll be going into a match with Comet next after Lean has set that up. Do we know the opponents that they'll be facing?
No, apparently Challenge is not responding or has some delays right now. That's also why the bracket didn't turn up earlier on stream for a bit. And they're currently struggling with entering the last result.
That's unfortunate. So obviously Challenge hosts a lot more tournaments than just one. So there might be a lot of demand currently in other tournaments, or potentially it's just
we can just guess an opponent and hope that they really face each other.
Okay, so let's have it. All right, we can do it. So Comet are 22nd place. They have a score of 3-1. I would say they're either going to be going against Polar Knight or Aquila. What about yourself?
Right, they already played Colorblind, Shoal, and Polar Ace, and Fire.
So yeah, I think they're gonna fight. I think they're gonna go against Polar Knight or Aquila. That's my guess.
I would like to see them playing Lemuria, to be honest.
You think? I think that's a bit of a high seed to put them against, but I can see why you go for it. Lemuria are a really strong team. That I think I mentioned them before. That you wanted to watch the match between them and Polar Ace because it would be a close one, but. Yeah, I don't know if the challenge would make that decision because obviously it bases the next opponent off of how many wins and losses you have and against the seeds that you fought against them with. So if you were a seed 22, like Comet themselves, and you've won 3 out of 3 of your matches, the chances of you going against someone who is a higher seed or a much higher seed than you is increased a lot. So you're potentially going to be going against maybe the top 10 or top 15 teams in the tournament. While we sort Challenge out.
Yeah, since Challenge is still not allowing them to enter the score, we will just take a short break for 1 or 2 minutes, and we will be back as soon as we know who our opponent for Comet will be.
Don't go anywhere.